I literally was yawning as I started the stream. Hi everybody, hi Bean, hello anybody else who might be joining us tonight. I'm very tired. I'm very EP tonight. Hat time. How would you like B? Rusty Cat, of course. You know what? I'll give you that one for free. I feel like I should have started with that one if anything. Bring this one down. I feel like I should have started with that one if anything. So you know what? I'll give you one for free here. You can pick another. Hi everybody, it's me. I'm very sleepy today. I took a nap when I came home. Two hats. I took a. Did I say I took a hat? I took a. I took a hat when I came home. I took a nap when I came home, and I'm still pretty tired. No reason, just kind of am. Sometimes it'd be like that, you know. Oh man, this one put it on her. There we go, beautiful. I want to face it the other way. There we go. That should. Don't snap. There we go. That should do it. Perfect. But yeah, I'm just tired, so I'm sorry if I sound different or anything. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. I think it's just that I'm tired. And I don't have the usual energy I put into the stream. But that's not gonna stop me from streaming today. It's gonna be a more chill stream. Hecka EP, that's me. That's me. I was trying to set up like some notes on like, you know, topics and stuff that I can talk about throughout the stream. And for some fucking reason, and this one like pissed me off, my sticky notes started lagging, and I'm like still kind of upset about it, because how the hell does sticky notes lag? How the hell do you make sticky notes lag? I have to restart it. But yeah. So let's continue. That says 6 hours, right? I'm not crazy. That says that we played for 6 hours, right? But that is nowhere near true. Or am I misreading that? Because I don't know any other way that I could read that. I remember I was thinking about that us saying the stream last time. Makes no sense. Yeah, I feel what I think it is. It's that you know how like games have like a lock frame rate, or like some games have to have a lock frame rate or they freak out. I feel like this is one of those games where like it doesn't really matter because it's a visual novel, but the timer that's keeping track of how much time has passed probably is going nuts, because I don't know how many frames a second this game's running at. What I can tell you is that it probably is frame rate uncapped, because who the hell would cap their visual novel, right? Either way, I can't wait to have spent 24 hours on this. So last time I had to point out, yeah, from where else could the culprit have entered the Krusty Krab? How the hell is that even, like, how the hell was this not brought up at any point before this? Pro tip, play a game from the late 80s, early 90s on a modern processor to experience the speed of gods. If you play like Touhou 6, that's the one that immediately comes to mind for me. If you play Touhou 6 on like anything modern, just like an unpatched version, it will freak out and everything will be like at 500 times speed, and it's impossible. But you know what? I think like some people would like that as a challenge. Take that! Here! Here? There? Wait, isn't that... Yes! The only other play experienced the speed of Hermes. That's a Greek god, right? The fast one. The little boots. I think that's what it is. That's the one, right? The only other place that the restaurant... The other only place... Touhou 6 mentioned. Yay! Touhou 6 mentioned. I actually did a playthrough of like Touhou 6, 7, 8, and 9, I think, on like years and years ago. I want to say like 2016. I played all of them like back to back to back. I beat 6, 7, and 8 if I remember correctly, and I couldn't beat 9. Or no, I beat 6, 7, couldn't beat 8, and I did beat 9. Unnormal, mind you. I couldn't play like Lunatic or anything. But that's the only reason I know that Touhou 6 freaks out, because I've like actually played it. Welcome to the Sponge. The only other place in the restaurant that has been completely overlooked. The kitchen back door. How do we overlook that for this long? The only other place that everyone seems to have forgotten to exist. What in the... But isn't that... That's right, Squidward. You see, the kitchen of the Krusty Krab has a back door that leads to the alley behind the restaurant. While the main entrance was guarded by me, we never considered the possibility of someone entering through the back door instead. I'm kind of mad that it took this long to, like, mention that. SpongeBob, you know this place. You work there day in, day out. You use that back door to, like, throw out the garbage and stuff. How do you not bring that up until now, right? That's Ace Attorney. Fair. If someone knew about this entrance, then anything related to the security system or our schedules would be irrelevant. Order! Order in the court! This is truly an interesting development. Mr. Squarepants, are you suggesting that a third party may have used the back door to gain access to the kitchen? Exactly that, Your Honor. It's a possibility we haven't explored yet, and it can explain how the Krabby Patty was tampered with before or after the security footage went dark. We should reconsider our position on the very way the case has been presented. What utter foolishness. Who is this? Oh, it's Squidward? Why did they put his name as question marks? Like, what? We know he is. Give a molefish an apple and he'll try to eat its own face out of its own confusion. I am utterly disappointed in this outcome, to the highest degree, I might add. Fake secret people is also Ace Attorney? I guess, but like, I don't know, I haven't seen that. What do you mean, Squidward? Raise the valid arguments against the very premise of this case. Your Honor, forgive this poor, unfortunate soul. Let me spell this out very clearly. Have you not thought that we had already considered that back door as an option? Clearly, SpongeBob hadn't. Wait, what? I mean, you already ruled it out as a suggestion? Yes. What do you take the Bikini Bottom police for, you idiots? Yeah? I assure that our brilliant witness here can fill you in on the details of what she has found. Sorry, SpongeBob, but it's just as the prosecution claims. The Bikini Bottom police had already considered the back door as an option. We checked the back door, and it was all with all certainty locked. In addition, there's no discussion about lockpicking to take place, as such an action would be fruitless endeavors, as you would need prior knowledge to pick the custom-made lock. Hi, Guga. Hello. Lock the door behind him. Lock the door behind him. Lock the door behind him. SpongeBob uses his fucking door, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I know SpongeBob uses the door. The door was unlocked at the time, and then they locked it on the way out. Like, yeah. I don't think that's an outlandish claim. This woke me up. This woke me up. This actually woke me up from my from the EP state. Oh, I see, Sandy. Sure, the dumpsters are up behind the restaurant too. Exactly. Like, this isn't like a rarely used entrance that only one person ever uses, like, once a week. This is like a thing that they have to use every day to take out garbage, probably multiple times a day. I see, Sandy. I guess that means we can't rely on the back door as an alternate mode of entry. But the defense refuses to back down. I have grown ever so tired of your antics, my learned silica-laced friend. What? Learned silica-laced? What? Let me ask you this once more, defense. Do you perhaps have any other proposition as to a different mode of entry? Bad, really bad. From back door, you have to invoke a true name of the Lord God himself to open it. You have to say, like, fucking Bloody Neptune 3 times, and then Neptune himself will come over, and then he'll have like a little nip on his hand who can unlock the door for you. And only if you know that very specific secret will this door be opened, apparently. Really bad. I'm gonna pray for a miracle to save me, but until then, all I can do is bluff my way through and get as much time as needed. Well, Squidward, I've been thinking about it, and while the back door might not be a viable option, there's still another possibility on the table. Neptunian Mermaid AU? I'm sure that's a thing. I've actually seen, at least Noir. That's another character from Nep. Like, fan art of Noir as a mermaid, and she's very cute in that. What if the murderer had access to the kitchen through the means of being an employee? Someone who already had... Are you suggesting that one of the other employees or someone closely associated with the Krusty Krab could be involved? Exactly. It could be someone who knows... It's going on auto. Sponge... I agree. Like, we went over that path already, and like... It's SpongeBob, it's so clear what you're doing. And, I feel like an incessant disease coming back again and again whenever you see fresh blood. But here, you notice the conversation shift and you try to create your own truth, especially when people forget the facts easily. SpongeBob, I'll stop amusing the court. What you propose is an impossibility. On the day of the murder, you had been guarding the kitchen, Mr. Krabs was in the office, and I at the cash register. For Neptune's sake, we even have heard testimony from Mr. Cheek stating that the only employee of suspect is Krabs. Unless you're trying to implicate yourself as the culprit to escape the situation. Way different than Edgeworth because Squidward actively hates SpongeBob. Yeah, like Phoenix and Edgeworth, like that's just their job. Edgeworth, as far as I know, that's just his job. And like he's a little smug. Apparently he knows Phoenix, but like clearly he cares enough about Phoenix as a person. Squidward is just like out for blood. He's like, this fucking moron. Please stop wasting my time. I want to go paint. Unless you're a SquidBob believer and you think he doesn't actually hate him. I think you can hate someone and still be in love with them. Personally, I think that adds to it. No, Squidward, I would implicate myself as a culprit. Trying to explore a concept. Yeah, we already went through this though. You claim to want to seek the truth, yet I find it absolutely laughable that you refuse to take the factual truth. The truth that the defendant standing next to you is a true culprit. Oh, I sound like afraid of him. Order in the court. Sans, I just heard Sans. What is the meaning of this? Is the man there alright? Is he still breathing? I think he will be fine, Your Honor. Ah! Oh, sure. That surely wasn't a soft landing. Where are the cushions? Well, maybe it's the way you're dressed. Excuse me? You had the audacity to fall from the roof and then hope we lay down cushions. I demand you introduce yourself to the court. Name and occupation for the record, now. Using the Sansei because Sansei is actually from Patrick. Correct. Maybe it's the way you're dressed. Patrick Starr, professional cave explorer. The Cave X, Your Honor. Take everything this man says with a grain of exceptionally large salt. What the witness meant to say is, man who sleeps under a rock. I see. Patrick voice is the best one? Thank you. That one's just like, somehow I just know how he sounds. Everybody else, I'm just taking a guess, because I have not heard him in a while. But thanks to that one, maybe it's the way you're dressed. Like, that fucking clip. That fucking clip, I heard Sans, it's like a sleeper agent. It came to my brain, and now I know how Patrick sounds. Regardless of this man's occupation, what is he doing here budging to the courtroom all willy-nilly? Oops. Was this a bad time? Sorry, guys. I was just trying to make a dramatic entrance. Didn't mean to startle everyone. Patrick, you really know how to make an entrance, don't you? Can we please focus on the trial? We don't have time for these shenanigans. Yes, let's try to maintain some order in the courtroom, shall we? Hold on, before anyone says anything, I have a question. Sans is Patrick. Sans is Patrick. Ness? Wrong answer. Extremely loud incorrect buzzer. Dance, Patrick? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, correct. What are you doing here? We're in the middle of a trial. I heard there was a trial going on. I thought I could help by being a surprise witness or something cool like that. That's Undertale's. Nah. Stand under the table. Surprise witness? Patrick, we need a reliable testimony, not surprises. Oh, well, I guess I'll just sit back and watch then. Good luck, SpongeBob. Thanks, Patrick. Just try not to cause any more commotion, okay? You got it, SpongeBob. And he faded away. He's gone. Now getting back on track, before that buffoon completely derailed the proceedings. So, SpongeBob, do you have anything to offer to the court? To be honest, no. I don't have a single shred of evidence that could connect anyone to the crime. Neither do I have any solid speculations as to what happened. The thing I recently have is Plankton's dubious connection to the victim. But even then, that doesn't raise enough reasonable doubt to suspect them. The only thing that I can cling on, so might as well try to put pressure on that witness. Yes, Squidward. I do have something to offer. I believe we need to re-examine the testimonies already given, because we have yet to consider the possibility of an accomplice. An accomplice. Have you gone off your rails once more, defense? What reason would there be for such a suggestion in the first place? The defendant acted alone, and that is final. Firstly, let's abuse the idea of my defendant being the culprit. SpongeBob, boy, you're saying what now? Calm down, Mr. Krabs. Trust me. Prosecution, this is by no means an acknowledgement. I am simply amusing your own wild theories. Yeah, fuck him up, SpongeBob. Okay, drinking a little bit of water. Now, from what we heard from Miss Cheeks, the crime seemed to have been meticulously planned out. Even though many events that happened in the case are highly unlikely to have been planned, let's assume they had been. Even then, the way everything played out would be an extreme streak of luck. So, I propose an explanation that would explain the prosecution's luck-based theory. You have a lot of sass to talk about my theory like this. Let's see it, SpongeBob. What is your explanation to my luck-based theory? Luck? I'm sorry, I want to play Mario Party. I want to play Mario Party. I hear luck and I just, again, sleeper agent. I want to play Mario Party. The witness, Mr. Sheldon J. Plankton, assisted the defendant with the crime. What? What? Such an action would let the Krabby Patty to be made and the camera to be short-circuited. In addition, it would explain why it was found in an unusually fried state. The witness would have less knowledge with this device, thus less care would be put in when forcing it to shut down. I must say that is a very entertaining story. I must ask one simple thing. Why would Plankton choose to help the defendant? What in the 7 Seas would motivate him to participate in such a vulgar act? Because I see no connection here, your defense. I am actually surprised that I managed to completely bluff my way into an actual theory. Chowdy, hello. What it do? It's Sponge. We saw Sans. You missed Sans. That was scary. You don't want to play Mario Party? You want to play SpongeBob SquarePants Light Camera Pants? Is that like the... Y'all know about the Pac-Man version of Mario Party for like the Xbox? I'm gonna imagine something like that. Lights Camera Pants. But Squidward does raise a valid point. Plankton wouldn't be involved in helping Mr. Krabs, and he had no reason to do so. I need anything to cast some sort of doubt on his innocence. Are you sure of what you're doing here, SpongeBob, my boy? Yeah, I'm actually trying to pin me down now, too, for a lesser sentence now. Are you? Oh, Mr. Krabs, I'm trying to find an alternate suspect to you. Someone that could potentially force this trial to end this never-ending stalemate. I wouldn't call it a stalemate, but, like, you know, we're, like, at a, you know, like a solid, like, 10-90 losing. 10% to 90% losing right here. But, we're getting through. Roberto Esponja's pantalones cuadrados. Don't call it a stalemate. You've been losing for years. They captured my intelligence twice, and I've just been like hurtling down in my intelligence ever since. Just so I don't cap it the third time and I lose instantly. So you know what? Maybe it is a stalemate if we take it into 2-4 turns. He would be called Roberto, wouldn't he? That I not thought of that. Bob is not a name, is it? Just actually like Bob. That's a shortening of oh, that's so weird. I just need some sort of motive that would force Plankton to hypothetically assist you. I don't know about that one, boy. I just don't see it anywhere. The bat's preoccupied with stealing me secret formula more than anything in his life. Unless you dangle the secret formula or his wife Karen, I doubt you could draw out a motive from him. Is that not what it's called in Mexico? I don't know. I'm not from Mexico. It could be called. In Honduras, we just call it Bob Esponja. It's just Bob. Like his French name from the bilingual packaging I grew up with, Bob L'Éponge. I forget that like in Canada, like French is actually pretty common. And I'm sorry, I think French is like a very funny language. Like just listening to it, it's not as funny as like German, for example. But I feel like French has some like sleeper. Some like real sleeper picks for just funny languages or funny words. I mean, l'éponge. It's literally a second national language, mandatory bilingual packaging. Oh, really? That's crazy. So like all your shows and everything have to have like a French version of them too. Oh my god, you have Johnny Test in French? That's insane. That's so fucked up. I'm so sorry for you. Repeat that again, Mr. Krabs. And Frankai. That's how you say French, right? That you dangled the secret formula or his wife? Yes, that's exactly it. Defense. If you stop chattering between yourself, I'd like an answer. What motive would Plankton even have to help the defendant in this crime? Very simple, Squidward. It's all related to the Krabby Patty secret formula. That's the reason my username literally came from a can of cherry Pepsi. Oh, cherry! Oh, that's so cute! What the heck? I know in French is Merci beaucoup, Pierre Noël. Merci beaucoup. That almost sounds like treat. I don't know what that says. Pierre Noël, I'm gonna imagine it's a name and it's a reference to something, but that's all I can make out of that. What 2 years of French does to a motherfucker? What 2 years during the pandemic does to a motherfucker? Thank you very much, Santa Claus. Even hear you, self-defense. That is the current motive of the defendant. Yes, and I don't dispute that fact. It's clear that Mr. Krabs had a motive to protect Krabby Patty's secret formula. But the question is, did he act alone? Plankton, with his history of attempting to steal the formula, could have had his hand in this as well. Explain, defense. It means either thank you, Santa, or heart attack. Insane. Okay. Oh, okay, you were... Okay. Sorry, I thought the thing of you... Thank you very much, Santa Claus, was, I was connecting it to, like, Coke. Like, cherry... I thought Coke, because you know how Santa... It's like a thing that Coke owns, apparently. Like the red Santa, we all know. Somehow they fucking own that. So I was thinking cherry Coke, right? And then I thought you were referring to that because you just mentioned that for your name. Okay, got it. The polar bears? They also have the polar bears. Imagine owning fucking polar bears. That's insane, actually. I own every polar bear, and if you use any of them in anything, I will sue you and kill you. The main misinterpretation is that only the defendant had a stake in losing the secret formula. But that is just blatantly false. After all, another party wanted that recipe as well, Plankton. In this whole incident, the one who acquired the formula was the victim. Wouldn't it be logical to assume that Plankton would see this as a direct threat? Not at all. He could have simply gone for the same theft shtick he has done with Krabs for years, with Shell Johnson instead. That's a false equivalent prosecution. The stakes are vastly different. SpongeBob, you know what a false equivalent is? Mr. Krabs is a simple restaurant owner, while the victim had dealings in the black market. I believe the witness would have an incentive to have the formula in either his own possession or the possession of a less deadly guardian. Plus, what could also bring up that Plankton would not want a third competitor opening up in the territory. Fair enough. I see. That is indeed a surprisingly valid theory coming from you. Since you have cast a shadow of doubt on a key witness of the event, I would like to ask the court to bring back Sheldon J. Plankton to the stand. Permission granted. That's like that one Disney lawsuit they tried to dismiss because the defendant... Yeah! Oh my fucking god. Yes, yes, yes. I know about that one. That is insane. It's that, the fucking... If I remember correctly, it was that, a man and his wife, they went to Disney, right? And, they, like, told that they wanted to eat at a restaurant in there, and they told them of the wife's allergies. And the restaurant did not care about the allergies. Like, they gave out some food that she was allergic to. She, of course, had to go to a hospital. I don't know, like, if she was, like, how bad she was, but she had to go to the hospital, I'm pretty sure. And when they tried to sue Disney, Disney tried to say, oh, well, they have a Disney Plus account, so they agreed to the terms and conditions to never sue us. But they actually got enough backlash that they backed off on it. Or at least that's, like, the last I heard of it. Yeah, I don't know if they died, but, like, that is insane. Yeah, like, that was an actual thing. You can look it up. That is, like, an actual thing that they try to do. Like, you sign our terms of agreement to fucking Disney Plus, we can just say that you cannot sue us. And that is insane. That is fucking insane. Try to take him to attribution instead. I don't know enough about the court to know what attribution is. But yeah, just insane. Actually fucking insane. And the only reason that they were able to, sue is because Disney had to back down because they were just getting so much fucking backlash from it. Disney is, like, an actually evil company. There's a lot of evil companies, but that is actually an evil-ass company. The court will now call the witness back to the stand, and with all due respect, we ask Ms. Cheeks to stay here for potential further analysis of the case. I mean, yeah, where else would you go? Like, Nintendo? I hate that Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is they go back and forth on being just, like, comedically evil and, like, being kind of chill. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bad with Nintendo, but there's also some good in there. Grandpa thinks Disney isn't a thing anymore because nobody watches Mickey Mouse. He has zero concept of anything else about Disney. So the evil companies need to go down Sega's path. Death! And then revival. I mean, that would work. But at this point in the game, that's not happening. Sadly, that's not happening. But nobody watches Mickey Mouse. I know a lot of kids going bankrupt to be humbled. And then I realized I forgot to turn on my little light. Turning on my little light today. Yippee! Lights on. I think argument drowned out by the Soviet anthem. Angel! Alright, bring out Quinita. Bring out Quinita. Bring out the Quinita. Goodbye. Hello. I get the feeling y'all like pink a little. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. Handsome. You know what? I didn't realize what you were saying at first, but yeah. Wait, that's pink? I'm pink. Am I not pink? Wait. I'm pink, right? What do you mean? I'm pink, right? I'm pink. Why are you crying? Wait. I'm a little worried now. I'm pink, right? Please, someone tell me I'm pink. Actually, I prefer salmon over normal pink. But you're pink? Thank God. I was about to start questioning if I'm colorblind or something. Witness, you stand accused of aiding the defendant with the murder of the victim. What is your response? What? What kind of response do you... I clicked it too early. I had nothing to do with this. I'm innocent. Your innocence has yet to be proven, Plankton, especially with the new perspective on this case. Don't mind my colorblind eyes. What do I look like to you? Okay, I'm curious now. Like, actually, what color am I to you? I think that's just kind of cool that you see it a different way. It's also entirely possible that Plankton acted separately from the defendant, and that led to his unfortunate event. Oh, please, SpongeBob. Don't tell me you're going to suggest that Plankton was the sole perpetrator of this murder. Faded pink, but I can't see green anymore. Oh. Hey, I am pink, though. There's no green here. I have blue down here and in my eyes. Ding, ding, ding. You know, like the swishy eye, like eyelashes thing? Ding, ding. Does she show you 50-50 if I think it's green or red? Gotcha. So yeah, don't worry, I don't have any green on any of my designs. That's like one color that I actually just don't use a lot. I'm not suggesting that they were working together either, Squidward. Oh, these are just speculations, since I'm trying to piece together the events of this case. Not even... Fair point. Forgot about it. Hi, Ikari. Forgot about you somehow. Yeah, I don't use green a lot. It was only like my main design for like 3 years in a row. Look, she's like ambiguously green. Another of her, I cannot forget her. You know what? Just hat. Gets another hat. Because that one's more like a navy blue, like blue and light purple to me. Yeah, no, she's very much green. I just forgot. Like entirely, I just forgot that she was right there. She's literally on screen next to me. It's like a sea green, light teal. Yeah, she's Miku colored. She has the specific Miku color that's like in between blue and green. Sometimes I forget that I call her green. Although one cannot deny that Plankton might have felt cornered and desperate enough to orchestrate this whole scheme to frame Mr. Krabs and divert suspicion from himself. Hikari, bing! Cute. He should be removing 2 competitors. He would be removing 2 competitors from the formula in one fell swoop. This is preposterous. I would never sully my hands with blood for something like that. I can't dismiss any possibilities, Plankton. Just calamar. Okay, tienes razón. Tiene el color de calamardo. She actually is kind of Squidward colored. I think they're like a different shade, but like yeah, I can see that. I can see it honestly. Can't dismiss any possibilities, Plankton. The truth is often stranger than fiction, after all. Not only that, but I find it ironic that you would mention blood, since the method used specifically would result in no direct blood spilling whatsoever. Alright, Sponge. Oh my god, they really are the same fucking color. That time, Guga. Hikari should also play the clarinet. She can play the clarinet. We could just add that to her lore, actually. Yeah, she plays clarinet. Good girl. Right there. Very good. I have to look this way. It's very weird. I have to look... I don't know how to explain this. I have to look with my eyes this way and then turn this way to look this way. Am I not even doing this right? I don't think I'm doing this right. Funny Mario. Bring out the Mario. Where is it? I want the big one. I want the big fucking Mario hat. Mario, no. Where is it? I leave it. This one? Yeah! What hat would you like, Shrimp? I love sticking my head in. Someone said Mario. Mario! Mario, go fish! Wait. I gotta give you normal. Everyone gets a Mario. Oh, you're so right, though. Hold on, you're so right, though. Give that Hikari... We need to give this Hikari a little Mario. And there we go. And the Homestuck hat. Okay, hold on. Then we need to give this Hikari a little Mario. And then I need to move this. No, I don't want to select the Krusty Krab hat. I want to move it up and do that. And then I do that. And Homestuck. Where is it? It's this one, right? This one. I'm pretty sure it's this one. These are tall hats. These are really big hats. It's that one? Okay, good. Because I have it labeled as bunny hat here. It's not very descriptive. Top it off with a double baseball. You're so right. The Dire for Wimpy double baseball hats. And I need to bring this up. Alright. we're successfully blocking chat with the double baseball hats. I'm a cowboy. I like that I need to go down a little bit. Like, I really am stuck. Yeah, y'all know, like, how Soldier TF2 like just can't see. You can't, like, just eyes are covered at all times with every hat. That's me right now. You give me a Mario hat and I immediately cannot see. Alright, SpongeBob, I'll entertain this idea for now. But you'll need to provide substantial evidence to support your claims. I don't have any physical evidence. I do have a very important question. Plankton, you know a lot about the victim, his background even. How perchance, SpongeBob saying perchance, did you come to gain that knowledge? Well, it's because you see, SpongeBob, I may have had some past dealings with Sheldon Shell Johnson in the past. We're not exactly friends, but we had crossed paths before. Perchance is 2 words, I think. I don't know. Perchance. No, perchance is 1 word. I think. Okay, I don't like that if you look at perchance, it's a fucking image generator. Disgusting. Perchance word. No, it's 1 word. They put it as 2 here, though. Yeah, there's a lot of typos in this game, and that's fine. It happens, it happens. Interesting, Plankton. What were these dealings about? Can you provide more details? I can't reveal everything right now. You're in a court. It's complicated. Well, let's just say that Sheldon had certain information that would have been damaging to me, and I had to take precautions to protect myself. This is becoming more intriguing by the minute. It's like how I went to school with a guy named Charles, but everybody, including his name, said Charles. There's like a Brooklyn Nine-Nine bit about that. Charles. Plankton, you must understand the gravity of this situation. Your past connections to the victim, along with your own motives, make you a prime suspect as well. We need the truth from you, Plankton. I assure you, Squidward, I had nothing to do with the murder. I may have had my reasons to be wary of Sheldon, but I would never resort to such extreme measures. Truth? Persona 4 mentioned? That's all I know about Persona. That one specific song. You have to believe me. That man was someone who was meant to be feared. His course of actions were unpredictable, and if he sniffed out any ill intent, you'd be dearly sorry. And I'm sorry, but I didn't have the death wish. Plankton, you keep using vague and emotionally charged language. Thanks, SpongeBob. Is it because you had to use... If you had to use direct language, it could incriminate you and show that you would have committed the murder? No, SpongeBob, that's not what I meant. There are simply certain matters that I cannot divulge in this moment. But rest assured, I'm not the murderer. I have no reason to harm Sheldon or anyone else. Oh, that sounds fun. I hope you have fun. Bring him a nice gift. That's fun. I like birthday parties. Plankton, we understand that you may have your reasons for keeping some information confidential. However, in order to uncover the truth and bring justice to this case, we need your cooperation. Why would he want to cooperate if I'm trying to incriminate him? Is there gonna be the change toss? Change toss? Change toss? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I understand your concern, SpongeBob. I'll do my best to cooperate within the limits of what I can disclose. So that my intentions have always been to protect myself and my business, not to harm others. You stream tomorrow? Yeah, I'm playing Voices of the Void tomorrow, and I'm hoping I don't cry. I would not be having this. Mr. Krabs divulged his own information, and he too had a reason to protect his business without the harm of other people around him. Double smack. Hey, y'all been to a party where they threw coins in the air and you pick it up like... Coins? Are you talking about Mario Party? Are you talking... Hey, are we playing Mario Party? I really want to play Mario Party. I'm in the mood for Mario Party. I heard Mario Party earlier, and I want to play Mario Party. No, I have never been to that. I've never heard of anything like that. That sounds like it would hurt. Like you would get hit in the head with a coin, and that would just hurt. No. Also, I feel like Krabs also didn't go into a lot of detail. I'll have to force him plays Mario Party. Junks! If I call Junks, do you think he would pick up? He's not live right now, right? Junks. Let me double check that he isn't streaming, and then I can then I can just call him and see if he picks up. I think it would be a little bit funny if I just. Okay, he's not streaming. I'm calling him. Like on a cellular device, I'm calling him. I'm just waiting for him to pick up.
I'm sorry, but the person you called.
You son of a bitch! I'm gonna kill that guy. He didn't pick up his phone. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I was so ready to start saying. I was so ready to start yelling at him, but it doesn't even pick up his phone. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. First murder on Twitch. It's not gonna be the last. I'll tell you that. He's gonna die a lot of times. He's gonna die. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him again. At least not that I remember. I don't know. I've never heard of anything. The closest I guess is like some piñatas I've seen have chocolate coins, but I know that's not what you mean. You mean like actual coins. Can it be me? No. Actually, you did already die. You were a victim to the PvP enabled chat last stream. So technically you have died, but you're a gamer, so you respawn. It's in your name. Here's another look at this whole case. Hydrate. Oh, thank you. I actually do need some water. What if instead of just passing by the Krusty Krab, Plankton instead was able to sneak inside the Krusty Krab and commit the crime? SpongeBob. That is an improbable theory based on nothing. He's very small. Remember that there were cameras watching the scene at the time. They would have picked up this witness if he was in their line of sight. Exactly. Exactly. If he was in their line of sight, I believe we need to take into account how this witness stature could be an advantage when dealing with cameras. Due to him being tiny, he could actually utilize camera blind spots as the camera viewpoint could only reach so far. La bola? Okay. La bola. La bola. La bola. Like, cause like, seke is a. I know that can mean like a ball, or that can mean like a drunk woman. So I'm imagining that it has the double meaning on purpose. You failed to realize this a very simple point. During the time period in which access to the office was available, the camera pointing to the office was functional. The last time Mr. Krabs would leave an opportunity for someone of the likes of Plankton to slip in was directly in the time frame of when he would be caught on camera. Yet the footage shows no sign of Plankton. Then that only leaves a time frame of when the camera malfunctioned. That can be a factor too. True, because I know there's like a lot of words in Spanish that like change drastically, just from like country to country, like an extreme amount. Like for example, did you know that I learned this one from my family yesterday. You know that pastelito means like different things throughout like 5 different countries. Same for un buñuelo. I believe that's another name for what I consider a pastelito. And there's just a lot of different words that mean the same food, but just they don't mean the same food. They are like different foods, but with the same name. Also an impossibility. Firstly, the kitchen was blocked by you, thus Plankton could only enter to the office of Mr. Krabs. Secondly, even if you were to consider the office as a mode of entry to the kitchen, it would also be flawed, because the only time the office would open again after the short circuit would be the time the Krabby Patty was delivered to the victim. Fortunately, the size of the witness is irrelevant, as that single fact doesn't change anything about the basis of this case. It can't be. Can defense. The possibility of Plankton being the culprit is laughable. My family gets extremely angry and confused when I use Spanish or broken Portuguese. Based. See, I think it's funny to pull out just a completely different language, actually. Not just Portuguese, like, you can start speaking, like, another language, and just, like, I think that's objectively funny if, like, people are reacting to it. Surely, you must have realized that during these proceedings now. Oh, excuse me. You most likely ignore that information, instead choosing to rely on that truth you keep clinging on to. But enough is enough, SpongeBob. I believe you should finally concede. A towel. There are no more avenues for you to exploit. Or forgive Neptune's grace. Do you have another mode of entry this witness could have used? It's the Spanish equivalent of what the fuck is a kilometer when I stop pulling out the vosotros? Oh, I love that one actually. Isn't vosotros also like just regular Spanish though? Because like that, I don't know if that's, I know it's not commonly used, but like it's just like a formal version of like ustedes, ¿verdad? This is it, the final stretch that I am given. I know that's what Squidward's trying to do. By denying any sort of entry to the kitchen, I would be indirectly admitting that he had no way to murder the victim. European Spain Spanish. Oh, okay. That makes sense. For I don't know, for me that's one that I learned like in school. I remember that I was just like, oh no. Formal would be usted instead of tú. Yeah, usted. Yeah. Because I know I use ustedes de vosotros. But like, yeah, in school, that's one that I learned, and like, I never used it. I know it's uncommon for like Latin people to use it, but it is one that I know we can use. There's something I missed that could give him a chance to slip in. There's something that would incriminate him and only him. They get to present any evidence. Think, SpongeBob, think. Of all the people that were on the scene that day, what made Plankton stand out? Would that difference be essential to how the case could have played out? Remember the crime scene, SpongeBob. There must be a method that you haven't taken into account yet. That's it. Oh, the window. You know, have fun, Guga. Enjoy the birthday party. Bomba can mean either pump or bomb, depending on the dialect. It can also mean balloon, depending on the dialect. There is another way Plankton could have gone inside the kitchen, and the defense could show you. I am genuinely getting tired of being interrupted for the sake of these half-based theories. The window, the wall, the sweat drips down my... But fine. Get it out of your system, defense. Show the courtroom where this entrance resides. Defense would be glad to point it out. SpongeBob, there's still a single entrance that no one would feasibly think of being an option. Fair enough, I actually didn't consider this one also. Alright, we've saved. Yeah, I genuinely just didn't consider that. No. The wall to the corner. Okay, I don't know what that one says. I'm sorry. All this time, the whole case was interpreted from the lens that Mr. Krabs is guilty. That's why his office and the kitchen entrance became a solid wall that painted him as a culprit. Corner, dick, and balls. Haha, you said dick and balls. Haha, got you. Yeah, I don't know what it said. But when you take into account our current witness and the state of the scene of the crime, only one logical conclusion can be left behind. And that is... the service window right near the cash register. What, me boy? Ah, what in tarnation? Balls. Bolas. What is the meaning of this defense? I bring up that this is quite a leap in logic. The service window, of all things. Some sort of joke. Have you gone mad? You suggesting that Plankton somehow managed to enter the Krusty Krab unnoticed and then proceed with the murder by entering the kitchen through a service window, of all things? Bolas. No, I asked the court. I would like for the court to test this man's blood. I don't even know. Again, it just kind of went. I wasn't even pressing anything. I would like the prosecution to quiet down. Shut the fuck up, Squidward. I know my theory sounds far-fetched, but... far-fetched? Now, excuse my French. But has your brain auto-corrected the word rearranged in your personal vernacular defense? Excuse my French. What the fuck? Whatever you do not say... I get it. 102 eggs. Hee hee. Hehe, 102 huevos. We're very mature in this stream. There's not a singular piece of evidence that would even point to the witness being any part of this. The defense would like to differ. There's an entire explanation that would clear any question that could be raised. Fine. Let's refer to the simple fact that the cameras never even picked up the witness going to the area of the cash register. Or has that escaped your minuscule mind, defense? I believe you're looking at this issue from the wrong perspective. To address the problem with the cameras, you'd only need to compare the height of the defendant and witness, and you'd see the flaw in your argument. Are you deluded? Just because the witness is the size of an oversized being doesn't change a thing. He'll still be clearly caught on camera system regardless. That is your key mistake, assuming that Plankton would be dumb enough to walk right into the view of the system. The witness could have taken advantage of his size and walked close to the cameras, that way avoiding the direct line of sight. And what of it? Even if he had done such a thing, that would not have made a single difference. In order to gain access to the service window, he would need to go into the direct line of sight of the cameras. And that is why I want Miss Cheek's opinions of the status of the camera that was pointed in the direction of the defendant's office. Yeah, it's short-circuited, but that is a fact. No, Miss Cheeks. In your testimony on the alternatives of the case, you had mentioned that this particular camera was an outlier due to it being fried. I want to ask if this state was induced naturally, or was it tampered with? It's difficult to say. They aren't like the new models where you can definitely say something like that. Although, due to its very peculiar condition, I wouldn't rule out tampering as an option. Take into account that it could also have happened naturally due to the poor state of these devices. I think the judge has picked up the beef between these two yet? Oh, 100%. The judge is either like thinking like, man, these two fucking hate each other and they work together. Or she's like imagining them kissing. There's no in between. The defense rests its case. We believe that it could be entirely possible that by going to the blind spot of the camera, one could tamper with it and cause it to stop working. Thus, removing any evidence that would implicate the witness if he chose to go through the service window. You're a madman. An amusing theory, as always, defense. Yet I must again open your eyes to the wider picture at hand. You seemingly have forgotten the existence of me and you at the scene. If Plankton chose to enter the kitchen through the service window, enemies to lovers, enemies and lovers. How about that? That's a new one. Enemies and lovers. Would it not be strange that neither you or me had noticed this miscreant running about? On the contrary, Squidward. You would like to have the court believe that we were fully aware of our surroundings, yet that would be misleading to the events of that day. The day in question, while I was annoying you, in truth, we were having a heated debate on the validity of the sequel to the Great Sea Anemone Chronicles. SpongeBob! Your Honor, I swear. I wish it'd show for the plot. Wait, it's just porn. Oh yeah, it's the fucking sea anemone, I know. Hey, Gary! That's what they all say. Thanks. Even from the prosecution's reaction, you can deduce how much that show means to them. It is then perfectly explainable why we would be none the wiser if someone of Plankton's stature were to sneak past the kitchen through the service window. Thus, this opens a new possibility of Plankton being responsible for the murder of the victim, Sheldon Shell Johnson. Yaoi watching Yaoi. Hell yeah. What insanity is this? What a possibility just out of the blue like this? I knew that green bean would be responsible for something like this. These species are a plague in our honor society. Why, I would never. To think the Broad Division would let such a crucial detail slip by him. Absolute skill issue. Free the crab! Free the crab! Free the crab! I'm fujoing out. Just need this guy. Just pucker your lips, go over and kiss him. Squidward, we're not shoving a cravat up your ass, we're putting SpongeBob on your lips. This is it. I managed to sway the verdict towards my side and get the jury on my side as well. I say this should be a wake-up call to you, Squidward. The true culprit of this case can only be Plankton. Order! I will have order in this court. Defense. That is an amazing observation. To think we would have missed this crucial detail if not for your observations. Truly, this sways the ties of this trial into an equilibrium. Neither the defense or prosecution has superiority in the verdict as of this moment any longer. We're trying to pin it on Plankton. We're saying Plankton did it, and he stinks, and we heard a couple, like, a little bit of racism. I think whoever said that earlier should be kicked out of the jury, because I think they're a little bit racist. And also, Yahweh. SpongeBob, Squidward, Yahweh. Yahwehism. we can deal with Yahwehism. No racism, though. Who's the guy who says my leg? I don't even know who that was. That was just somebody in there that was like, oh, they're fucking, their species are a plague. It's like, okay, dude, okay, damn. Prosecution, what would be your opinion on this matter? It seems that even Squidward is speechless at my proposition. That must be a sign that I have opened a plausible version of events. I see. So the prosecution does not have any comments to make at this moment. And let us go by determining what version of events seems to be. Your Honor, excuse me for interrupting, but I had simply given myself a brief moment to recollect my thoughts. Oh, please, prosecution, state your thoughts to the court. Of course, Your Excellency. What the defense suggested was a version of events that makes a worrying amount of sense, although they are a mere misinterpretation of existing coincidences. The main misconception is related to the witness themselves. What misconception? I gave a valid argument as to why and how Plankton would be there. Yes, and it was a very entertaining story. Nothing more. That is very, like, Edgeworth. Like, yeah, that was like, interesting, for some bullshit you made up, I guess. Let's draw our attention to the statements given before all this. Witness, before the story came into effect, pray remind us, where were you stationed at during the time of the incident? Well, I was... Please use this map to point out exactly where you were. It would be probably best if the defense understands officially where you were. Of course. I believe I was somewhere around... Makes sense? Here. In other words, your testimony on your whereabouts does not change. You weren't in the restaurant for you to have done anything that the defense proposed, correct? Now for the updated autopsy report. Yeah, he actually died from like 77 chest wounds. We don't know how that happened. Didn't see it, sorry. Didn't Gumpfish tell you? Didn't Gumfuck tell you? What the defense proposed was something I could hear from a crackpot theorist at a murder mystery analysis club. I understand why you would have that sentiment, although it raises one question. Why should we believe this witness? Do you have any evidence to cast doubt on their actions that day? Direct evidence? No. I'd say... I don't... If there's one thing I don't like about this, it's a visual novel. Like, there's evidence. We have not gotten to use any of the evidence apart from, like, twice. And I wish we did, because I think that's the most fun part of Ace Attorney. Like, figuring out what evidence actually fits, and then, like, turning that in to see, like, the reactions and everything. And, like, I'm not saying this is bad, but, like, I do wish we got to actually give evidence a lot more. But I already did provide an explanation that clearly casts doubt on the witness. If what I say were to be correct, then anything said about the witness's whereabouts would be a lie. Turn this a bit of a puzzle game? Exactly. This is less so. Yeah, this is, like, more of a visual novel with, like, some things where you have to, like, try to figure some stuff out, which is fine. You know, I still like it. There's no basis for even thinking of your theory as being even remotely realistic. And neither is the case on Mr. Krabs realistic. He too relies on circumstantial evidence and theory. Yes, but unlike you, we have a clear window of time that makes it certain that only the defendant could have committed the murder. It doesn't rely on going through the service window of all things for it to be plausible. Much as it pains me to say, Mr. Squarepants, but in the case of basic Occam's Razor, the prosecution sounds more believable. Because it requires the least number of logical leaps of faith. And simply, your theory falls apart when you take into account the witness was outside when the altercation happened between Mr. Krabs and the victim. Huh? I think I missed something. Welcome. Occam's Racer, Ock. I don't know it. They did say that. I just don't even know if you're making a pun or something, because that's what it feels like you're trying to make. But all of this is true on the assumption that Plankton was truly outside of the restaurant. Fine. If you're so insistent that he wasn't outside, then please provide evidence to the contrary. Evidence? That's something I don't have much of in this trial. Perhaps I could find something. Must be something that could prove Plankton wasn't outside, but in actuality in the restaurant. Hey, we actually get to present some evidence. Present evidence that Plankton was inside of the Krusty Krab. Okay. Very clear audio. There's a whole ass big window. I think it's well orchestrated, but the lack of evidence material, like being able to explore like an Ace Attorney. Yeah, I think I would make it like a little better. I think that would be more like a little more fun. But I still think like so far the story is just solid. Krabs had initially lost. Actually, I don't even think I've read through most of these. Attorney badge. Even though I'm not an actual lawyer, this is my lawyer's badge. Mr. Krabs gave it to me, although I question the legality of all this. Victim Sheldon Shell Johnson, Caravana. Time of death 12:52 p.m. Cause of death, cyanide poisoning. Plankton recording of Mr. Krabs threatening the victim. It has very clear audio. The floor plan of the Krusty Krab. The murder weapon. A special Hawaiian sauce laced with cyanide was in the burger. The sauce isn't a restaurant item. Security footage shows the victim entering the premises, going to Mr. Krabs' office, and then having an argument. Later footage is lost. Mr. Krabs had initially lost possession of this bottle to the victim. It was a point of contention between the two parties. It has to be this one. How did he get such clear audio while he's standing outside? You want evidence? Then here you have it. The recorded Plankton submitted to this court. When do they smell almonds? Almonds? What do you mean? Oh, I can't communicate for shit. Occam's racers for down. Oh, Occam's. Ah, okay, my bad. Teehee. Water. I need water. Thank you for taking care of Hecka. And for the people that redeemed the hydrate earlier, too, thank you. Forgot to say that. You have it. The recorder Plankton submitted to this court. There's one thing that we all failed to consider when we first heard it. And it's understandable, since the revelation of the contents left quite a shock. Cyanide has the same smell as almonds, expired almonds specifically. Oh, really? I mean, it says that it was with pineapple. So, granted, also, like, from what we know, Krabs just came out, gave this burger, and then they ate it. Like, they didn't really have a lot of time between like, getting it and eating it, most likely. So, what I believe is just that, you know, they just didn't even think about it. Like, oh, it's a special sauce with like, pineapple sauce that's not usually in the menu. Cool. And then they ate it and died it. But has anyone thought about the audio quality of this very recording and how it raises a massive contradiction? Oh, come on. Are you really trying to pin this on me based on the quality of my recorder? That's absurd. I know it may seem trivial, but it's an important detail. Because if Plankton was outside the restaurant, how did he manage to capture the conversation between the parties with such clarity? I'd imagine the thick glass of the Krusty Krab would insulate the voices instead of amplifying them. Yet the crispness of the audio quality suggests that he was actually inside of the Krusty Krab, perhaps even in the vicinity of the office where the argument took place. Defense, that is a case-breaking observation. If this witness was indeed inside the Krusty Krab, it makes it likely that he had access to the kitchen and could have been involved in the crime. Not everyone could smell almonds. Yeah, when you say smell of almonds, I can't really imagine what that would smell like. Like how that one cilantro-ology that makes it taste like exactly like soap. Oh, I didn't know it was like an allergy. I thought some people just didn't like it. I didn't know it was like a literal thing. Why is this coming up here now? So it would actually. I think this one makes sense that like, everything is coincidental. It makes sense because like Plankton presented this and it was like a shock. Like, oh, they have this conversation of them arguing, right? It's a gene, isn't it, for cilantro? Oh, is it? Man, you know, I was born with a lot of bad things, but at least cilantro tastes like fucking food. I love cilantro. We had a dish for dinner. We had a dish for dinner with it. My coworkers talked about it last week, and now it's brought up here. Oh, yeah. No, I swear. Every time you like learn about something, right? Every time you learn about something that you could have sworn you never heard in your life, it always starts coming up a little more. Probably that and I'm misremembering. Either way, imagine imagine getting fucked on the DNA roulette to make cilantro taste like soap, like actual L. Kind of like wine. Some people have a wine taste like shit gene. I've only ever had like church wine before, and I think wine tastes like shit. Granted, I was like 13. I didn't really like it. Drink the blood of Jesus, and it tasted like shit. I know binging with Bavish hates cilantro because he has that. No, don't give her wine. Stop giving that red thing wine. She cannot handle it. This is preposterous. It had nothing to do with the murder, and I without a doubt recorded the conversation from outside the restaurant. You have no other evidence to prove otherwise. The proposition given by the defense has surely created a big hole in the prosecution's argument. In light of this new interpretation of facts, I suggest we thoroughly analyze the recorder. Everclear then? I don't know what that is. That sounds like a cleaning product. Please don't kill her. I can't do this show on my own. Cilantro means coriander in English. Coriander? Excuse me. I can't do this show on my own. Please don't kill her. I don't know what coriander is. We need to determine if it's possible that the recording was made from inside the Krusty Krab. Devil! Hey, sorry for ranting. I just wonder what else suddenly learned. Yeah, no, it's always like that. It is always like that. Like, no matter what, you always get something like that. It's like you learn about something. Oh, there we got the devil. No, I'm bringing out Little Tenko. Yay! My head can't fit into anything. It's too big. Hello. This should be a good spot. A little more this way. I'm big. You're not meant to see that. Everclear is the liquor with the highest alcohol content. Stop! The big red one cannot handle any of that. Every time you sneeze, I'll redeem the switch. Ah, okay. I like that, actually. It's like when I used to sneeze to reset our SNES. Achoo! And then it just like just you know, caused it to reset. I like that. Just stop giving me alcohol. I can't handle it. In light of this new observation, I asked for a recess to ponder on this new information, the potential for Plankton having a larger involvement in the case. It's not gonna let us have one. Much as the prosecution gets to admit it, but I agrees with the defense. The massive turn of events must have a moment for more consideration. The prosecution would like to also invoke its right to a recess, as to have time to ponder on the theory presented by the defense. Very well. Considering the gravity of the situation and the new information presented, I will grant a recess. The court will reconvene in 1 hour. It's like they sell 95%, 30%. I've seen like 6%, and I thought that was too much. During the time, both the prosecution and defense may review the evidence and formulate their arguments accordingly to the question of this witness's movements on the day in question. Court needs time to go scream and curse and jump in rage. How much is in vodka? That is a good question, actually. How much alcohol in vodka? Vodka. I'm not reading the AI overview, actually. Here we can pull this up. So vodka, 40 to 95%. Whatever. Accept all. You can have all my fucking cookies. I don't care. Track me down. Track me down. Track me down. I dare you. Start recommending me alcohol. I dare you. I dare you. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna waste all your money on trying to advertise alcohol to me. And you're gonna look so fucking stupid. You're gonna look so stupid. Yum. Court is officially in recess. Hey. Oh, we survived this far. To be continued. Okay. You ever get to explore the Krusty Krab? I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna let us do that. Would you like to save it? Yepers. Guys, we played for 8 hours. Almost 9 hours. 17th July, 2:32 p.m. District Court. Defendant's lobby number 2. You did it, boy. You made it to recess. I'm so proud of you fighting to your best like this, me boy. I couldn't ask for a better lawyer. It didn't even cost me a pretty dime. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. Time to make sure we get to the bottom of this and find out the truth. I would enjoy a SpongeBob Slice of Life RP group, like a bunch of fish OCs trying to live their normal lives in the middle of SpongeBob episodes happening around them. What is he? He is Mr. Krabs. Honestly, though, I feel like there's just a lot of like settings that would make really fun RP groups. So like, I'm sorry, I think it would be very hard to convince people to join a SpongeBob like OCRP group. And I don't say that to be mean or anything. It's just like, sadly that would be kind of hard to do, right? I should check. Setting up, fine. It's a little cringe. No. Even if it is, who gives a shit? I don't care about it being cringe. It's just like, you know, it's a very specific idea that I feel would be a kind of a hard sell for a lot of people. Even if they like the idea, it's like, you know, that's like, I feel RP is a little bit of a commitment. And, you know, sadly, you need a lot of people for stuff like that to work. Or even like a one-on-one works, but it's a lot of, like, a lot more work. Finding a crisp $5 bill. $5 bill to make a fish? I could make a fish. I could so easily make a SpongeBob OC. I have an Animal Crossing OC I made like 5 years ago. It's a cat. Her name is Golden. She's a little smug cat. And, oh no, she's peppy. She was peppy. But, like, she had very smug type of look. And she wore a little maid outfit. It was very cute. And if I ever find it in one of my old sketchbooks, I will probably take a picture of it. Because I think she was cute. I would make an Animal Crossing OC to kiss Anka, I'm afraid. That's fair. You can like that. You can kiss Anka if you want. I personally think that they're all way too cute. I feel nothing. Like, I want to kiss them on their little head and be like, pat pat. But I understand. Of course, defending you is still my priority, sir. I appreciate your dedication, SpongeBob. You've always been a loyal employee and friend. I truly trust you with me life, boy. Now let's use. I don't like the way he looks at me like this. I don't like the way he looks at me like front-facing Krabs. Just kind of like. I can't even tell if he's smiling at me or not. It looks like he's kind of smiling, but you know, this line makes it a little hard to tell. That's what I was aiming to do with the races, sir. It's just that I need some time to think how Plankton fits into all this. You know something, say something. Actually, SpongeBob, you truly believe Plankton to be involved in this murder? Regarding success, no. But I don't know what to believe at this point. Hi, SpongeBob. I get it. It's a tough situation indeed. You know Plankton to be a cunning little fella, always trying to steal me secret formula. Just look into your souls to find your bank detail. If you look hard enough into my irises, you can see my bank account information and how to make a withdrawal. But murder? That's a whole different level. I'm not sure if he's capable of going that far. I understand, Mr. Krabs. It's hard to imagine someone we know so well being involved in such a serious crime like this. Mr. Krabs wanted to get back into his toxic yaoi relationship with Plankton. You know what? I hadn't even considered that. They are dating. He needs another dad for Pearl. Okay, he can't have the other dad go to jail. But we can't ignore the doubts I have raised. Yeah, right, SpongeBob. They used to in high school? Correct. I know that. I remember the episode where they become besties again because they used to be, but they fell out. And then they tuck in the shower all sad, and Krabs gives him a fake formula, and Plankton is like, haha, you got me. I think that's how it ends anyway. We must stay focused and keep our minds open. They're rekindling the light in the courtroom. I just want to know, Mr. Krabs. Are you still hiding anything from me? I just want to know, to be ready for anything. SpongeBob, me boy. I've always tried to protect you from the harsh realities of the world. I see now that keeping secrets only leads to more confusion and mistrust. That is something I need to tell you. What is it, Mr. Krabs? What are you hiding? During the argument with Sheldon, he did threaten to reveal something that could have destroyed me and the Krusty Krab. It was something from me past. Something I never wanted anyone to know. The Plankton also said that they had something from his past that guy was holding over his head, and that he couldn't go into detail over it. Now, Krabs also has something from his past that he can't go into detail of. He refused to earlier, and he's like skittish about it now. Holy shit, I think it's the yaoi. Holy shit, I think it's the yaoi. There's something from me past that I never wanted anyone to know. I was desperate to protect the restaurant and the secret formula. I made a deal with Sheldon. They're actually gonna be a plot point. I'm hoping, praying. I briefly gave him access to the secret formula, hoping it would satisfy him and make him go away. Mr. Krabs, by doing that you were directly endangering the formula in the restaurant. I know, SpongeBob. I let me greed and fear cloud my judgment. I thought I could handle the situation on my own, but it only made things worse, it seems. I'm truly sorry for putting you and the Krusty Krab at risk. I'll not hide that it hurts, knowing that you went behind our backs like this, Mr. Krabs. I'm not proud of what I did, SpongeBob. It's just the way it is, boy. What made you so scared? What did he have on you? It couldn't have been that bad, right? SpongeBob, me boy. There are things that I am not proud of doing in my life. In my early days, I did everything to build up the Krusty Krab. Deeper and twistier than I expected for SpongeBob. I'm just hoping it's yaoi. Hey boy. Have you ever heard of the Bikini Bottom Civil War? Hold on. Extremely loud, incorrect buzzer. Not yaoi. War. They used to be in the Navy too. Oh, was Plankton also in the Navy? I knew Krabs was. I didn't know if Plankton was. I think we brushed up on it in school. It was the most violent inter-gang war that led to the involvement of the regular citizenry, one of the bloodiest conflicts in Bikini Bottom's history, I believe. That time! That's where the yaoi started? True! Hikari, you need to protect me. Thank you, Hikari. She's ready for war. One of us is. One of the bloodiest conflicts in Bikini Bottom history, I believe. But do you remember what sparked the Civil War? If I'm not mistaken, it was the death of the president. Piran is a pretty fun name. Hat gun. Gun. Give the hat a gun. Mara would defend us with his life. It's life? I don't know what you are, but I love you anyway. Piranha? Yeah, Piranha. I like that. That's a really good, Ace Attorney. Gun hat? Yeah, it works. It works. I think I understood what you meant. SpongeBob, me boy. It wasn't just a death. It was an assassination. That time. What? But that wasn't written in the history books. Give guns a hat. Ooh. We're giving it a silencer. Ah, yeah, we're ready for an assassination now. We're gonna flee from this scene so fucking quickly. What makes you even say such a claim? Guess I was the one who killed her. Damn, Krabs? What the fuck? What? I know, SpongeBob. It was beyond a terrible thing. This is fishing crabs, Mr. Krabs. I've carried that guilt with me for all of these years. Ilana was a good leader. Absolutely no historian or survivor can deny that. I let my greed and ambition get the best of me. I was involved in a plot to remove her from power, and it took her life. Why, Mr. Krabs? Why would you do something like that? I thought you said you wouldn't hurt anyone. Hey boy, I was young and foolish all those years ago. I was blinded by my desires of wealth and power. I thought that by removing Piranha, I could gain power and wealth, thus making the Krusty Krab the biggest and most successful restaurant in Bikini Bottom. But I was a fool. I only realized the gravity of my actions and what they meant for greater society, the lives I had affected, the pain I had caused, only after the fact. Mr. Krabs... I don't know what to say. I've never expected, I never even imagined. Young, foolish, a different shade of red. You know how it is, me boy. I understand, SpongeBob. It is a lot to take in. Imagine, though. I've carried this burden alone for so long. I wanted to protect you from the darkness of my past. But now I see that keeping secrets only leads to more pain. Truly sorry for what I've done. Mr. Krabs. I can't condone what you did. Terrible act. Beyond so even. It also goes against everything I believe in. Everything you taught me. But I also believe in forgiveness and redemption. We all make mistakes. But that's what we do afterwards that truly defines us. And that's at least what I think. No, SpongeBob, my boy. I think this is an entirely different beast to handle. After all, I assassinated Piranha for the sake of the wealth from the underbelly of Bikini Bottom society. And what I indirectly caused was a bloody 4-year civil war. Oh, it is funny in a way. The way Sheldon died was the exact way I chose to assassinate Piranha. Poetic justice, is it not? Mr. Krabs, No, this isn't poetry at all. It's tragedy. A horrific tragedy. Aye, SpongeBob, it is a tragedy. But to see my past actions mirrored in Sheldon's death is a harsh reminder of the consequences of my choices all those years ago. Mr. Krabs, I just don't know what to say. Knowing all this, it changes everything. You can't simply overlook the pain and suffering caused by your actions. Life's lost, the division created because of you. I understand, SpongeBob. I don't expect forgiveness. There is no place for it here. I made terrible and unforgivable choices in my past. I can't change what I've done. Mr. Krabs, I need time to process all this. I need to figure out what it means for me, for our friendship, for my own principles. I hope you understand. Of course, SpongeBob. Take all the time you need. I never meant to burden you with the weight of my past, but I couldn't condone hiding it any longer, especially after you unearthed so much in that trial. When I begin thinking about it, it's difficult to take in, Mr. Krabs, knowing that because of your actions. My parents had to go through immense poverty. What it cost them was pain, but then there's something worse. What it cost to the people of this country, all that suffering. It is undefendable. Fuck you, Krabs. You're on your own. Model sad face. It's a lot to handle. But that doesn't change the fact that I will still defend you. For the sake of the truth. For the sake of justice. For the sake of your daughter. All of these reasons are for me to move forward. There's no turning back now. SpongeBob, me boy. I appreciate your loyalty and willingness to stand by me, even in the face of such revelations. I'm still defending him? Well, Krabs, you did kind of cause an entire civil war. I have my doubts after you literally murdered a political figure in the same way this person died. that you also have at least some sort of involvement in, because you gave him the burger, and you caused my family immense suffering for decades because of your actions. But you have a daughter, so I guess it's cool. Yeah, I guess. SpongeBobby boy, where's me blacked out heroin? Yeah, I guess that's fine. Whatever. After all I've said, I feel as if I don't deserve your defense. I caused so much pain and suffering. Worst of all to your own family. You are my dearest employee. Okay, you remember Luigi? No, my dearest friend. I can't ask you to defend someone like me anymore. Mr. Krabs, we may have made terrible choices in the past, but I believe in redemption. I've seen the good in you throughout the years, and I know that deep down you care for other people. I won't ignore or forget what you've done, but I also won't abandon you. That's not the way of the attorney. In the name of reuniting Yaoi, I'll defend you. Mr. Krabs, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about your daughter, but I do need you to go and kiss Plankton on that stage. You're too pure of a soul. I can understand, like, his thought process. Like, you know what? That's in the past. You know, that's in the past. The sections don't reflect now. But, like, has he really shown to be a caring person? He sold him for 62 cents. Right? Like, he is very clearly not, like, a very greedy person still. And I don't feel like, you know, like, I don't want to overlook it, like, oh, let's overanalyze the cartoon, but, like, in this context, in the context of this, I can't say that Krabs really has earned my, like, personally, my, like, redemption. Like, I don't see any reason that I would still want to defend him, but fine, let's do it. Not the way of the attorney. No. That's not the way of a friend. They'll make mistakes, and it's important to learn from them and try to make amends. That is why I want you to promise me. Promise me that after everything, you'll do your hardest to give everything back to Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob and the load-bearing Goku and Gigi strive to the Krusty Krab. Actually, though, what if SpongeBob was trapped inside the Krusty Krab files for 1,000 years? Really was plotting his oppression? Like, actually, to its people. I want to see that you truly feel remorse for what you've done. SpongeBob, me boy. I don't know if I deserve your forgiveness or support, but your words mean so much to me. If you're willing to stand by me and help me navigate the consequences of my actions, I promise to do everything I can to make things right, to repay the debts I owe and work towards a better future. For a Bikini Bottom whose scars would be just a bad dream. That's all I can ask for, Mr. Krabs. Face the challenges together and strive to make a positive difference. We may not be able to change the past, but we can shape our future actions and choices. It won't be easy, but I believe we can find a way. I believe that... Sorry for bumping into you. Buddy, are you okay? Hey, Patrick. The red Super Shroom in Mario Galaxy 2, the TF2 cow. I know it was disproved, but the TF2 fucking coconut. Hey, Patrick. You can at least look before you walk. Yeah, I'm fine. Just discuss something about the case with Mr. Krabs here. Though the trial certainly took quite a turn, and there are some things I've learned that are really weighing on me at the moment. Oh, geez, Sponge. That sounds tough. I don't know if I'm doing the voice correctly anymore. Maybe it's the way it... Is there anything I can do to help? You know I'm here for you, buddy. Thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. Right now, though, I'm just trying to process everything that has happened. A lot to take in, but I'll get through it. Sometimes it's good to have a friend like you to talk to and share my feelings with. Hey, Patrick! You want to hear about conspiracy and murder? There's a lot of that on my mind right now. Krabs, how about we tell Patrick about what you just told me? The KN-44 in Black Ops 3. I'm gonna imagine that's a gun, and I think that's funny to have a game crash if you don't have a single gun. Sure, if they have the secret twist of Patrick being the suspect, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm actually gonna be like real life mad if that's it. Absolutely, SpongeBob. Friends are there for each other. through thick and thin. This breaks SpongeBob and he becomes a big fin truther. He starts arguing on Twitter. That's what I see happening. You know, I'm always here to listen, even if I don't always understand what's going on. Thanks, Patrick. Your friendship means the world to me. Hey, let's go catch some jellyfish and forget about all that heavy stuff for now. We have a blast. Patrick, as much as I'd love to, you do realize that this is just a recess? We'll be going back in soon. There's really no time for that. Barnacles. And here I thought we'd have some fun in Jellyfish Fields. That'll be way more fun. Haha. True, Patrick. Oh! By the way, before I forget... remember how you came to the court by falling from the ceiling? Yeah, it was pretty fun. I'd highly recommend. I had to rate this experience a 10 on the Bikini Maps forum, but the mod changed my username to Nutcase and banned me straight up. Not very nice people. That's certainly a story. Anyhow, how did you fall from the ceiling in the trial in the first place? Something I didn't question at the time, but now that when I think about it more, it seems quite weird. Just a medium? Patrick. Oh, I apparently just mistook this big statue things for stairs and just climbed to the roof. When I climbed up, I thought it was so stupid that there was no door there, so I tried to get a peek at what was going on there through the roof window. Since it wasn't closed, I kind of fell in. Oh, that's completely understand. Ah, you what? Repeat that again. Yeah, I climbed on the roof and accidentally fell through the roof window. It was a bit of a surprise for everyone, including myself, but at least it was a fun ride. Give me a second. I'm thinking after this recess, I will have to end stream because I'm getting like very. Is it a small, medium, at large? The small, medium, at large would be Plankton, if anything. It's nice to know you got entertaining rides here. Patrick, you realize what this means? You're on the roof and fell in. Oh, really? I didn't even think about that. I mean, I was just trying to get a better view. I didn't pay much attention to what was happening. No, Patrick. What happened to you is huge. This can overturn the very basis of this case. What are you talking about, me boy? Patrick filing in court has a greater significance? Yes, sir. Because it introduces an avenue that I had completely forgotten about. Sir, am I not mistaken to believe that there's an entrance right on the rooftop of the Krusty Krab? There is a rooftop latch on the Krusty Krab, yes! Nope, there's suddenly one there. What of it? Why, Neptune, you're right! This bumbling buffoon made me remember as well. I think we completely overlooked that entrance to the restaurant. Yes, exactly. I believe this is our lucky break. This can be the true critical dent in the prosecution's case. But, me boy.
Defense! Defendant! The trial will soon reconvene. We'll ask you back to your seats.
I guess it's time. Never mind then. Let's go. 17th July, 3:39 p.m.
Of course you love my boys.
Courtroom number 2. Right, do I get to save at any point here? Because I am like, I need to get to a save point. I am like genuinely kind of struggling here a little bit. Order in the court. The trial officially reconvenes. Now let's get back on track. During the proceedings, a connection was found between the victim, Mr. Krabs, and Plankton. With basic evidence and testimony, it was supposed that Mr. Krabs was the sole suspect. But during the proceedings, the defense revealed that the service window could have been used by Sheldon J. Plankton, which in turn implicates him in the crime. In light of this, let us continue on this topic. Thank you for your recap, Your Honor. With this new information in mind, I would like to call Sheldon J. Plankton back to the stand for further questioning. Recall said witness to the stand. That includes Miss Cheeks as well. Why is Sandy freaking out? Mr. Plankton, You previously mentioned that you had no knowledge of how Sheldon Shell Johnson acquired a secret formula. However, given your closer connection to him, it seems highly unlikely that you were completely unaware. Can you please clarify your previous statement? Well, you see, I may have misspoken. I did have some knowledge about Sheldon's activity, but I didn't think it was relevant to the case. Witness! You must have been paying attention to the court proceedings. I find it highly unlikely that you could have even thought that something of that caliber was irrelevant to this case. Defense, I ask you to remain calm. Everything in due time. Witness, what exactly did you know about the victim's activities? Now, I knew that Sheldon was involved in some shady business dealings, including his attempts to destroy local businesses. I didn't have any direct involvement in his activities. Can you explain why you didn't report this to the authorities? Well, you see, I was afraid. Sheldon had some dirt on me, and I didn't want to risk exposing myself. I know it's wrong, but I was trying to protect my own hide. It seems like there's more to the story than meets the eye. Your relationship with Sheldon and your knowledge of his activities raises questions about your potential motives in this case. Do you have any reason to harm Sheldon? Perhaps to silence him or protect your own secrets? I think that Squidward is actually coming to my side. Excuse me, to my side now. No, absolutely not. I had no reason to harm Sheldon. Our disagreements were purely business related. I never intended any harm towards him. That is what you claim. Now let's move on to a more pressing issue. Then Plankton or both Sheldon still fucks with me? Yeah, I feel like that has to have something. Like, that is just, like, not a... That can't be a coincidence. That has to be on purpose. As you know, the defense had proposed that you had used the service window to get into the kitchen where you created the Hawaii sauce Krabby Patty. What do you have to say to this accusation? That's preposterous! I had no access to the kitchen or the opportunity to create the poisoned Krabby Patty. I assure you, I did not use the service window or have any involvement in the creation of that particular burger. But you must admit, Mr. Plankton, the service window would have provided with a potential means of entry to the kitchen unnoticed. It would have allowed you to bypass me guarding the kitchen door and the defendant's office. I didn't understand the speculation, but I had no reason to enter the kitchen through the service window. I had no realistic motive to harm Sheldon or anyone else. Besides, there is no concrete evidence linking me to the use of the service window or the creation of the poisoned Krabby Patty. We may not have concrete evidence at the moment, but the possibility remains. I find it curious that you had knowledge of Sheldon's activities, yet claim innocence in this matter. I understand your skepticism, but I assure you, I had no direct involvement in the murder or any motive to harm Sheldon. In actuality, as much as you want to incriminate me, there's one fatal flaw in your logic. Squidward, do you not think that it would be quite challenging for me to climb up your cashier's stand, let alone get it to the service window? A very valid point, witness. It does seem unlikely that you could physically reach the cashier stand, let alone the service window. I suppose that theory doesn't hold much weight, but price be not to the court. Exactly. It's important to consider the practicality and plausibility of these accusations. While it may be attempted to connect me to the crime due to my history with Sheldon and the Krusty Krab, it's crucial to focus on the feasibility of the claims made against me. In addition, the prosecution would like to know an argument that had slipped my mind, and that is the entrance camera. Entrance camera? Yes, a camera that had recorded the victim going into the establishment. Same camera that had not even the slightest hint of the witness coming in. One would try to explain how the witness did all the defense proposed and not be recorded by the entrance camera. This one had no interference and recorded up to the time the police had shown up. Thus, the theory proposed by the defense is absolute bogus. No, we have another method of entry. Now, after such an entertaining little detour, what do you have to say to that, SpongeBob? I think it could in no feasible way be connected to the murder itself. You're right, Squidward. My theory regarding Plankton's involvement was flawed and lacked sufficient evidence. However, that doesn't change the fact that there are still unanswered questions surrounding this murder. More? What matter of time-wasted tactic have you come up with this time? Not a time-waste prosecution. I have a new theory on the circumstances of this case. Ah, get it over with, defense. Your act is getting old. Squidward, not true that the Krusty Krab contains a third entrance that is located on the roof? A third? Well, yes, there is a rooftop door to the Krusty Krab, but it's rarely used, and I highly doubt anyone would have entered through there on the day of the murder. It's typically sealed off and only used for maintenance purposes. I understand, Squidward, but what if someone managed to gain access to the rooftop and used it as an entry point? It explains how the murderer could have entered the Krusty Krab unnoticed. I suppose it's not entirely impossible, but it's still a mile of a stretch, SpongeBob. Do you have any evidence to support this theory? Not yet, but I believe it's worth investigating. After all, during these proceedings, I heard no mention of the roof entrance. Neither were there any talks of ruling it out as a possibility. We should check the rooftop for any sense of forced entry or any clues to confirm or deny my speculations of the use of the third entrance. Bob, your theory is intriguing, and it's crucial to explore all possibilities. We'll allow the investigation of the rooftop. No! Don't! Okay. Okay. I mean, there's no need to check there. After all, this idea is ludicrous. Andy, why are you so opposed to checking the rooftop? Simply to ensure the fair trial for the defendant. You must be sure that all avenues are covered. SpongeBob, it's a waste of time. I highly doubt anyone will use the rooftop as an entry point. Let's focus on the evidence we already have. But Sandy, we can't ignore any potential leads. There's a chance the rooftop was used. We need to investigate it thoroughly. Must have turned away from the new leads. Okay. She is freaking out. What is it, nonsense? Investigate the new leads upon the heavens.
Wow, should I do squirrel much?
Why not investigate? Oh, hell no! The child's second part just started and I just got comfy. You better not end it now.
Investigate, investigate, investigate. Investigate, 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 actor, investigate.
Order! Order in the court! Miss Cheeks, we have pressure basis to imply that the roof is irrelevant to the trial. Please present your findings. Alright, fine. I don't have a case against that line of logic. You can check, but I'm telling you, we won't find anything. The court demands the rooftop to be investigated. Bailiff, we'll wait for your report.
Everyone, I got the report on the state of the roof entrance right here.
Please proceed and present the report on the state of the roof entrance.
According to the report, the roof entrance of the Krusty Krab has been inspected thoroughly. There are signs of recent tampering with the lock. It indicates that someone might have accessed the restaurant through the rooftop.
Roof entrance. Added to evidence. The entrance leads to the dining hall. The lock on this has been tampered with and is broken. So I was right on my suspicions. But that raises more questions. How could someone get up there, and what were they doing there? Most importantly, why was Sandy so apprehensive when I suggested the roof? Surely she can't relate it to what happened to the entrance, right? In addition, I believe I should highlight another piece of evidence documented in this report. Footprints. Roof footprints. Footprints that were found on the roof. Owner unknown. In any case, Miss Sandy Cheeks, you must realize at what point you stand right now. The court finds great suspicion with your attempted dismissal of this evidence. I find it so interesting that she has like a drawing tablet pen. I have one that looks just like it sitting on my desk. Miss Cheeks, as a marine biologist, chemist, and police toxicologist, I find your attempt to dissuade us from looking into the roof to be suspicious. The court demands an explanation. Miss Sandy Cheeks, your silence is not helping your case. It is in your best interest to provide an explanation as to why you try to hide this evidence from the court. Failure to do so will be taken into consideration by the court. Your Honor, I did tamper with the roof entrance. But I assure you, it's not for any nefarious purpose. Like someone whose feet end in points? Well, it could just be circles. Alright? I assure you, it was not for nefarious purpose. I did it to investigate the crime scene and gather additional evidence. I had suspicions that something was amiss, so I wanted to ensure a thorough examination of all possible entry points. Miss Sandy Cheeks, regardless of your intention, tampering with the crime scene is a serious offense. We'll take your explanation into consideration, but you must understand the gravity of your actions. The court will proceed. But Sandy! I would like for everyone to see these floor plans. I believe that none of the people here know where this door actually lies. Oh. I thought it would be in the middle, like right here. That would have made the most sense. As you can see, the roof entrance is situated directly above the table where the victim was sitting. It means that anyone who accessed the restaurant through the roof would have had direct access to the victim's table without being noticed by anyone inside the restaurant. I didn't realize the significance of the roof entrance's location. It was a foolish mistake on my part to overlook it. I can't deny that I had access to the roof and tampered with the entrance. I am dearly sorry for my actions. Sandy Cheeks, your explanation raises more questions than answers. That's where it is in one of the Halloween episodes of the cartoon I saw, Central. Yeah, that's what I would expect. But like, you know, it doesn't have to be like 100% accurate. It is a fan thing, so it makes sense. Like I'm not gonna knock him for that. The court, Sandy, out of all the people here, you are the smartest one here. I thought that you of all people would fail to see the correlation of the roof door and the position of the victim. You can't feign ignorance when you explicitly said that the police already had ruled out the back entrance when I first suggested it. Sounds like it. Sounds like she might actually be in on it. I apologize. Even though it seems like a possibility, I ruled it out the second I saw the entrance was locked. After all, I was conducting experiments and observations from our research on Bikini Bottom's air quality. Your Honor, surely Your Excellency can't accept such an answer. Yeah, it's like trying to understand the layout of like a set sometimes, you know, like for example a house that like in like a show, it's not gonna make sense if you think about it too hard. Like in 2.5 Men, there's Charlie's stairs that lead up, and then to like a hallway that just has his room in it, and that's it. You mean water quality? You're underwater. Yeah, there's air in the water. They're putting air in the fucking water. They're turning the sponges gay. They're turning the crabs gay for plankton. Defense, I understand your frustration. While Sandy's explanation raises suspicions, you cannot make assumptions without concrete evidence. Now, Your Excellency, the prosecution would also like to raise an objection to this witness's statement. It is the prosecution's belief that the simple idea that the witness was testing air quality on the roof to be ludicrous, knowing that she deliberately broke the lock on the roof. Squidward, seems you failed to grasp the simple notion of your current occupation as prosecutor. Have you resigned? I didn't drop my water! I'm okay. Have you resigned to yourself to playing second fiddle to the defense? Well, that is not if your competence as a prosecutor shines through. Water. What the? Yandere Sandy, apparently. Thank you for taking care of Hecka. The water was good. There is reasonable explanation for my involvement with the lock, and I am more than willing to provide that explanation if given the opportunity. Very well, Miss Cheeks. The court will allow you to provide an explanation for your actions regarding the roof entrance. Please proceed. Your Honor, I admit that I tampered with the lock on the roof entrance, but it was not for any nefarious purposes. I was conducting an experiment related to my scientific research. As a marine biologist and chemist, I often explore various environments, including rooftops, to study air quality and its impact on marine life. Krusty Krab's roof presented an interesting case for my research, and I wanted to collect air samples to analyze later. My intentions was purely scientific, and I had no involvement in the murder. The explanation provided by Miss Sandy Cheeks, the court will accept her account for now. However, this does not suffer from further scrutiny. But Your Honor, that wouldn't explain why she had to tamper with the lock. SpongeBob, your concern is duly loaded. However, Sandy Cheeks has provided a reasonable explanation for her actions regarding this roof entrance. As it stands, there is no conclusive evidence linking her tampering with the lock to the murder. Damn it! Your position in general authority, the judge is letting her slip by. Interject, but no, SpongeBob. You won't win anything by attacking her straight on. Sandy, I need to play the long game. I need to connect something that would raise doubt on her, even with her level of authority. The only avenue that can be tied to her are the footprints on the roof. By finding out more about them, can we hopefully draw out the truth? Draw out time for her to slip with her words. Your Honor, I would like to know more about the roof footprints. Whose are they? I'm surprised the defense did not push through more with this issue. Truly a welcome sign. As written on the bailiff's report, footprints found on the roof leading to the entrance have been determined to not match the footwear of Miss Sandy Cheek. The footprints appear to belong to a different individual. Excuse me, Your Honor, but may we know the size of these footprints then? Most of the footprints found on the roof have been measured and recorded. They appear to be of a smaller size, consistent with someone of Plankton's stature. However, further analysis and comparison will be necessary to confirm the exact match. I wouldn't lie, SpongeBob, me boy. This case is getting more and more tangled. I hope we are actually getting somewhere. Yeah, but for now, I say we should call Plankton to testify with Sandy, don't you think so? You're right, Mr. Krabs. Calling both Plankton and Sandy to testify might shed some light on the situation. Your Honor, with the revelation of the size comparison of the footprints to Plankton, we ask for the testimony from these witnesses on the topic. SpongeBob, you're grasping at straws. There's nothing to gain from this. Let it go. I object. I believe that Plankton is an invaluable witness to this whole incident. The prosecution demands Plankton join in this witness testimony. The court will not take kindly to the witness dismissing court procedure. The court will hear testimony from these witnesses. However, I caution both defense and prosecution to ensure that their questioning remains relevant and focused on the case at hand. Oh, she's fucking death glaring him. That stares, and he's literally trying to intimidate Plankton into silence. Direct and lead Plankton to show him that he doesn't need to fear Sandy. Two yaoi couples versus one yandere. Who wins? Hopefully the yaoi couple. I don't like yandere stuff. Like, we need these two to kiss. Plankton, I have a few questions for you regarding the events leading up to the murder. Can you confirm whether you have any contact or interaction with the victim, Sheldon Shell Johnson, prior to his death? What the fuck is going on here? Yaoi harem? No, this is just them two. It's between those two old guys who served in the Navy together. I would not want to interfere. Well, SpongeBob, as much as I love to say I had a delightful chat with the victim, truth is I had no direct contact with him before his unfortunate demise. Plankton, are you aware of the victim's visit to the Krusty Krab on the day of the murder? Yeah, I was aware of Sheldon's visit. In fact, I was observing the restaurant from a safe distance. As I mentioned earlier, I had no direct contact with him that day. I think Plankton will say anything to try to pry directly. I should catch him off guard. Is it true that the footprints that were found on the roof belong to you? Yes! No! No, 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 no. They definitely weren't mine. Is that so now? Is that? Plankton is quite flustered by that question. Could you please explain why you're so adamant that the footprints on the roof do not belong to you? Well, SpongeBob, that's just a misunderstanding. I've never set foot on the roof of the Krusty Krab. Tsundere Sheldon, he would be. Actually, both of them would be. It would be a tsundere yaoi old man relationship. None of these words are in the Bible. Thank God. Those footprints must belong to someone else, perhaps an employee or a curious passerby. I assure you, I have no reason to be up there. Yeah. Thank Hecka. Thank me for making up words. Plankton, if those footprints truly don't belong to you, can you provide an explanation for how they got there? The report clearly states that they led directly to the roof entrance. I can't explain it. Maybe it's a coincidence, or someone planted those footprints to frame me. After all, I've been the convenient scapegoat this entire time, but I swear I had no involvement in the murder, and I certainly didn't have access to the crossing craft through the roof. Just trying to kill him. Sandy, is there something you'd like to add or ask Plankton? Plankton, I've known you for a long time, and I've seen your devious schemes and attempts to steal the Krabby Patty formula. I never thought I would see you involved in something as serious as murder. Peace. That's right, it's scary. Tell me, Plankton, do you have any motive to harm Sheldon Shell Johnson? Sandy, I assure you, I had no motive to harm Sheldon. If I had a long-standing rivalry, I would Rivalry? Krusty Krab may be my biggest competition, but murder is not in my nature. Plankton, who has been desperate to get your hands on the Krabby Patty formula, and your past actions have shown how far you're willing to go. Why is the fucking witness questioning him? Can you tell me that you never considered the possibility of removing Sheldon as an obstacle to your plans? I swear, I had no involvement in this. I feel like Sheldon wouldn't have benefited me in any way. If anything, it would have made my attempts to steal the formula even more difficult, as it would draw unwanted attention to me. I understand your suspicion, but please believe me when I say that I am innocent. Hey, SpongeBob, boy. Don't you find it weird how hostile Sandy has become since Plankton was implicated to be on the roof? Plankton even seems hyper-conscious of the way Sandy reacts to him. Don't you find that suspicious? I don't know, like her making evil faces and glares on the edge of the screen there where Plankton speaks? Yeah, like, that is actually evil. Perhaps you're right. It doesn't add up here. Finn's reaction and Plankton's nervousness are definitely raising some suspicions. Keep a close eye on them during the rest of the proceedings. Hi, SpongeBob, boy. We need to stay vigilant and gather as much information as we can from these two. Your Honor, defense would like to request further inquiry into the motives and actions of both Sandy Cheeks and Sheldon J. Plankton. Very well. The court grants such a request. Sandy, Plankton says he understands a lot, but I feel like he doesn't understand. SpongeBob is definitely not thinking the same way. I don't know. I feel like he's just trying to say as little as he can. Because there's an angry squirrel next to him. Sandy, since we have discovered the presence of Plankton on the roof, it would imply that you have to have met there. After all, that Plankton would go up to the roof not knowing if there was truly an open entrance there. SpongeBob, I've had enough of your baseless accusations. Just because Plankton was on the roof doesn't mean I had anything to do with anything. Not for meeting him there. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never met him on the roof or had any involvement in this crime. The evidence is pointing towards something happening on the roof, and we can't ignore that. We need to find out what really happened that day, and that means investigating all possible leads, including your involvement. SpongeBob, you're my friend, but you're making wild assumptions without any solid evidence. I have no reason to lie or be involved in this. I suggest you focus on the trial of Mr. Krabs instead of accusing me. SpongeBob, me boy, I think attacking Sandy head-on is a fruitless endeavor. I think it would be better if we focused our energy on Plankton. Perhaps we should shift the way that we're thinking and ask him how he got into the roof. You're right, Mr. Krabs. Our focus to Plankton and understanding how he got to the roof could provide us with valuable information. Don't give me those fucking eyes. I'm not scared of you. Mr. Plankton, earlier you mentioned being on the roof. Could you please explain to the court how you managed to get up on the roof? Well, you see, it's a secret. Secret formula for getting up high places. The secret formula? Could you elaborate on that, Mr. Plankton? How did you discover the secret formula? Well, it's a trade secret. I can't reveal the details. Let's just say I have my ways of getting to places others can't. Break the lock from the inside or outside? That's what I'm wondering. I think it would have to be for the inside, though, right? Like, it wouldn't make sense for it to be unlocked from the outside. Would it be fair to say that you have utilized the secret formula in the past to access hard-to-reach locations? Well, I suppose you could say that. But it's all in the name of research and exploration, you know? I see. Would it be accurate to say that you have used the secret formula to gain access to the roof of the Krusty Krab? Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that. Well, let's just say I have a knack for finding my way into unexpected places. Wait, if he get onto the roof, then he can get onto the service window. Exactly. Yeah. So, like, what I feel like should be done here is, like, we use that. Oh, so you have a way to get into places that are too high for you. So there would be no problem in you getting into the service window. Mind you, we're not trying to get him to confess to that. We're trying to get him to kind of break. So that way he will confess more as to what happened on the roof. So he can be like, no, I was on the roof. I just realized that your secret formula trick could implicate you in the murder again. Depending on how you reach that distance, it could also mean that the service window is also reachable. Look, I admit I have my ways of getting to places, but I assure you I had no motive or intention to harm anyone. I'm just a small business owner trying to make an honest living. SpongeBob, I don't see a point in continuously badgering Plankton. Get onto the roof and that's final. How he got there is irrelevant. Isn't that right, Plankton? Sandy, every piece of information can be crucial in a case like this. How Plankton got onto the roof is not just trivial detail, potentially reveal important insights about the events that transpired. You cannot dismiss any possibility without thoroughly examining it. Plankton, I implore you to provide an honest and detailed account of how you accessed the roof. Like, you can't just go, actually, I don't feel like telling you on a fucking court. There's a name for that. Contempt of court, right? You just go to jail immediately for that. I suppose I can explain. You see, I have a series of contradictions, contraptions, and inventions that allow me to navigate different environments. In this case, I used a specially designed rocket booster that propelled me into the roof. It's a completely harmless gadget, I assure you. Plankton. Can you tell us? No, don't wanna. Can you tell us about... actually, nah, I don't feel like it. It's like fucking Red White. Red White did the same fucking thing, right? Is your final answer really the jetpack? By saying it's a jetpack, you're in turn becoming a prime suspect in the murder of Sheldon Shell Johnson. Your Honor, my mom told me that she's not home. I guess it's time to come clean. Truth is, the jetpack was just a lie, obviously. I didn't actually use it to access the roof. I didn't want to admit it before, but I did find a way onto the roof. I climbed up a ladder that was conveniently left behind by the construction crew who worked on the Krusty Krab roof recently. Your Honor, it came to me in a dream. Your Honor, the lions in my dream told me everything. Your Honor, you weren't there. Your Honor, fuck yourself. L. Your Honor. I didn't think it was important to mention earlier, but now I see how crucial it is to the case. Your Honor, bro code. Your Honor, I cannot tell you because you don't have those white bands. Your Honor, you should kill yourself now. Ow, ow, that one hurt my throat. Miss Cheeks, please refrain from displaying hostility towards the witness. While emotions may run high, we maintain a respectful and civil environment. Oh, I do apologize, Your Excellency. It's just that I've never heard about this. A construction crew? I do apologize. But the Krusty Krab is not even close to any construction site. The idea that they left the ladder is utterly laughable. Miss Cheeks, please compose yourself. Your Honor, I have a tummy ache. I will not answer any questions until I get my Pepto-Bismol. Never really thought about the specific placing of random items inside the Krusty Krab. Excuse me? But I think it will become extremely relevant, especially now that the ladder has been brought up. I was really hoping for a save point like a while ago. Now I'm just way too deep into like not continue to the next save point. Hey, Mr. Krabs, am I misremembering something, or was there a ladder that belonged to the Krusty Krab in the kitchen? Hi, SpongeBob, you be right. They do have a ladder in the kitchen. It's used for reaching high shelves and fixing things around the restaurant. What's the significance of it? That's all I needed to hear. Your Honor, I would like to reveal that the ladder that was most likely used... Yeah, switch out. Clearly, I'm not able to. Actually, just as a fun little thing, I really want to get a little model of Kinita, a small model. I think it could be cute. But anyway, you didn't hear that from me. Bye. Bye. I'm pink. I didn't sneeze though. I will say I didn't sneeze. And at no point in time did I sneeze. Hold on, I need to do that. I really like that. I just thank to streamers for the price of one channel for the 1 point. I would like to reveal the ladder that was most likely used to get on the roof. Your Honor, I redeem it for the bit. Clearly, this devil is not qualified. The ladder that was in the kitchen. Very well, the court will entertain this new development. The ladder shall be presented as evidence. Bailiff, please bring the ladder into the courtroom. Bailiff, go get my fucking eggs and my Tellur sandwich, please. I'm gonna move down a little bit. That way I'm not like all the way in the hat. It's more fun. Wonder what this is all... Where is all of this leading to? What will that ladder even reveal? I mean, it's the significance of all of it. That ladder turns out to be actually used to get into the roof. Then Sandy... No! I have to trust her. Ah!
Your Honor! I present to you the ladder in question.
This ladder will be inspected for any signs of recent use or tampering. If it can be established that this ladder was indeed used to access the roof, it could be crucial in this case. Bailiff, Big Plankton walk under the ladder. I'm disappointed in you, SpongeBob. I didn't get to read it. It just automatically did it. Miss Cheeks, please remain composed. The courtroom will thoroughly examine the ladder and draw conclusions then.
Your Honor!
Yes, Bailiff. You found something so quickly?
Yes, Your Honor. I found traces of sand and substance resembling the Hawaii sauce on this ladder. It appears that this ladder was indeed used to access the roof of the Krusty Krab, and the rear restaurant, grime, has stuck itself in the crevices of the ladder.
Ladder used to get to the roof. There is a Hawaiian cyanide sauce stain on the ladder. Sloppy. Truly sloppy. Findings are highly significant. Suggest that someone utilized this ladder to reach the roof of the Krusty Krab, potentially showing their involvement in the events of the murder. Miss Cheeks, do you have an explanation for the presence of sand and sauce? Oh, Your Honor. We are in the fucking ocean. Sand is everywhere. Bailiff, walk his pee-pee. Bailiff, Bailiff, ban that man. Bailiff, take his lunch money. Bailiff, bring me my sandwich.
Yes, Your Honor.
If the evidence is mounting against you, Miss Cheeks. Not expecting fucked up evil Sandy, but I'm kind of here for it. Get it, girl? She's totally slayed. She totally slayed. She is such a baddie. She's totally slaying it. And by it, I mean Sheldon. Yo. Your attempts to dismiss a roof entrance and your unusual behavior in court have only raised more suspicion. The court will now proceed with further questioning and cross-examination to uncover the truth. Bold of you to assume any of this. Do you even hear yourself? The kitchen. The kitchen. The kitchen? How on earth would I have access? How on earth would I have had access to the kitchen? Sandy, calm down. We're not accusing you of directly accessing the kitchen. We're suggesting that someone else used the ladder, possibly Plankton, that you may have been aware of their actions. Oh, is that so? It doesn't seem like that to me. You take me for a fool? No, SpongeBob, you don't understand. I had no knowledge of anyone using the ladder or accessing the roof. I've been telling the truth from the beginning. Shut the fuck up! You dare claim such nonsense. Yet you claim to have tampered with the roof door lock. How else would you find yourself on the roof of this restaurant? You absolute imbecile! What the silence? I admit that I tampered with the lock, but it wasn't for any nefarious purpose. I was concerned about the air quality in the restaurant, and I wanted to conduct tests to ensure everyone's safety. That's the truth. Conduct tests? How convenient. And what about Plankton's footprints found on the roof leading to the entrance? Better explain that, Miss Cheeks? I don't have an explanation for the footprints. I can't account for them. Who swears what? I don't know. I mess with the luck because I am Plankton. And Plankton, I'm actually Patrick Star. Just start taking off the masks. I swear I had no knowledge of anyone using the ladder or entering the kitchen. You have to believe me. Your Honor, I understand the doubts and suspicions of the witness, but we must remember that we haven't uncovered all pieces of the puzzle yet. Is that true? A member of the police committing murder? Better yet, she cooperated with someone else to do so? Told you all that Copper's a bastard. A-Cav, even in Bikini Bottom. Oh, yeah. You idiots. All of you. Mindless animals of room temperature IQ. What is it not to get? Do none of you understand? It seems you have forgotten something very simple indeed. You not remember that the back entrance was locked? Even if the ladder was taken, how do you suppose it was taken out? Did it go through SpongeBob? Did it go through Mr. Krabs' office? Or pray tell me, did it... I dropped my mouse pad. I like smacked my mouse pad out of like shock. Did it fucking go through the cashier service window? Well? Which is it then? This is a PG-13 game. You get one fuck. Order in the court. Sandy Cheeks, your outburst is unacceptable. Please compose yourself. Ha! Compose myself? Why should I when none of you seem to comprehend the glaring inconsistencies of your accusations? You're all so blind, so quick to jump to conclusions without considering the facts. Enough of your theatrics, Sandy. You can't divert attention away from yourself with these empty claims. We have evidence that points to your involvement. Oh, evidence is what you call it? Pray tell, what evidence do you have? The footprints on the roof? Those aren't even mine. And the ladder? How do you propose that I took it? Would Sandy be a trusted enough figure to be granted access without a second thought? I don't think so. Like, just because you're a cop doesn't mean you get to go to, like, a random business's roof. Sandy, please, we're all just trying to understand what happened. We want the truth. The truth? You want the truth? Fine, I'll give it to you. I had nothing to do with Sheldon's murder. Nothing. If you're so determined to find the real culprit, then go ahead and dig deeper. You'll find that your assumptions are flawed and that the real killer is none other than Eugene H. Graves. If you claim so, then please tell us how you got on the roof. Well, now, Mr. Krabs, you seem another secret needs to come to light. Fine. If it will finally put an end to this madness, I'll tell you. I did find a way to access the roof, but not through the kitchen or any direct entrance. There's a hidden passage, a ventilation shaft located behind one of the shelf units in the Krusty Krab. She's a local and everyone knows her. Still, like that doesn't mean that's not weird to be going around roofs and possibly breaking locks. The hidden passage? Are you serious? It's an old secret of the Krusty Krab, unknown to most. It seemed to have been created a long time ago during the initial constructions of the building, I believe. Oh yeah, that was an episode, wasn't it? That's actually in an episode where they get like trapped inside of it. I'm pretty sure. To my knowledge, only Mr. Krabs and myself were aware of its existence. After all, I stumbled upon it by chance one day when I was visiting years ago. So, you're saying that you used this hidden passage to reach the roof? Yes, that's correct. I used the ventilation shaft to access the door. It was a way for me to observe the air quality around the Krusty Krab, which was part of my scientific research. I never anticipated that it would become a crucial point in this murder investigation. The vents, Toy Bunny and Toy Chica and Balloon Boy come through those. Toy Sandy. And with one move, it would seem a fourth entrance has revealed itself. Mr. Krabs, I demand you speak on this matter immediately. Well, it seems that, Mr. Krabs, you need to tell us this now. There's no hiding this. Even if you lie, the police will investigate just to make sure you're telling the truth. I advise telling the truth for your own image. Alright there, SpongeBob. Snap games? I'm not surprised at all. Sandy has revealed a known secret that I would hope would remain buried. Yes, there is indeed a hidden passage in the Krusty Krab, accessible through a ventilation shaft though I prefer to call it a secret passageway. Oh, my throat is killing me. It was created a long time ago as part of new innovative technologies. And why was this information never disclosed during the investigation? It's a significant detail that could have altered the course of this trial. I didn't want anyone to know about it. It was meant to be my secret, a way to go in and out of the restaurant without anyone else knowing. This is unacceptable, Mr. Krabs. You intentionally withheld information that could have affected the outcome of this trial. This hidden passage may hold key to unraveling the truth, and you chose to keep it hidden. It's just the very basis of this case. The existence of the secret passageway may lead to the proof of a third party. Although, Mr. Krabs, I have 2 questions. I used to Vince to take breaks without anyone finding him? Good. Honestly, based. Firstly, why was this passage a secret, and what was its use for it to be a secret? The hidden passageway was a secret because it leads directly to my office. It was a way for me to discreetly access my office, the back entrance and the roof without anyone noticing. As for its use, well, I was mainly for my own convenience and safety while avoiding the IRS. Kind of wish there were a few more animations so SpongeBob stopped slamming his palm into the table. I mean, there isn't that many in Ace Attorney, so I don't blame him. I think Krabs has a lot of, like, sprites. And I think like they've done a sufficient enough job to, like, give enough sprites on this. Sometimes I need to go to my office or take care of something elsewhere without drawing attention or having to go through the main entrance. And secondly, where in the restaurant do you access this passage? Here. Please show us the location of this entrance. Alright. You did this. As one sees, this entrance was connected right to the defendant's office. Sorry, I'm just trying to, like, give my throat a little rest. I am, like, genuinely very worn out. But I was like, I gotta reach a save point, and I just don't find any. The fact that he kept this passage... Hydrate? Thank you. I'll drink a little more water. I'm almost out of water, actually. I'm, like, on my last, like, 3 steps or so. I just need to use the bathroom. I drank a lot of water. The fact that he kept this passage hidden raises serious doubts about his intentions and the credibility of his testimony. Refill your bottle? But why? 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 I don't want to refill it. I don't actually have a bottle. I just use the plastic ones. I have a bottle. And I probably should use it, but like we just buy the regular plastic bottles. So I just grab 2 of those before every stream because it's just quicker. For what purpose? Edward, that isn't the problem. The fact that is that we don't know how many people knew of its existence. The pool of suspects has to increase with a massive margin. Who knows who could have also been at the restaurant at the same time at the murder? Alright, SpongeBob. The revelation of the hidden passage has certainly complicated matters. We now need to consider the possibility that someone other than Mr. Krabs or Sandy had knowledge of the secret entrance and could have used it to enter the Krusty Krab unnoticed. Indeed, the existence of this hidden passage raises significant implications for the case. The court will ensure a thorough investigation and is conducted to determine who else might have been involved. The court, for the time will... Your Honor, the defense calls for Mr. Krabs to speak on the issue of the secret passage. Defendant, you have been called to testify regarding the hidden passage in the Krusty Krab. Please state what you know about its existence, its purpose, and how it can be accessed. Aye, Your Honor. The hidden passage was created a long time ago as a secret escape route, primarily intended for emergency situations or to avoid unwanted attention. It was never meant to be widely known, as it could compromise the security and integrity of the restaurant. As for accessing it, there's a concealed entrance behind a shelf unit in the office. Once pulled, it leads to the passage. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. Now I would like to each witness to provide their testimonies regarding their knowledge or use of this hidden passage. Candy Cheeks, if you could testify. As I testified before, I had full knowledge of the passage, what I personally called vent shafts. Oi! Anyhow, earlier the murder, I used that very entrance to get to the roof during the investigation. I tried to hide that fact, as during the investigation I carelessly tampered with the lock, unbeknownst forcing open the previously locked roof door. Thank you, Miss Cheeks. And Plankton, what can you tell us? As much as I would love to have utilized such a secret passage, I must confess that I had no knowledge of its existence until now. No, there's no pause menu. Like, nothing pauses. Sadly. Mystery surrounding the fourth entrance deepens further. The court will take note of this information and continue the trial accordingly. Secret passage that connects Mr. Krabs' office, the outside and roof. Mr. Krabs, besides you and Sandy, do you ever recall anyone else knowing or accidentally finding this entrance? Tell me, boy, I can't say for sure. The hidden passage was meant to be a secret, known only to a few trusted individuals. But accidents happen, and I suppose it's possible that someone else stumbled upon it at some point. However, I can't recall any specific instances of someone else discovering or mentioning the passage. It's always been a closely guarded secret within the Krusty Krab. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. May we also know who these trusted individuals are? Well, SpongeBob. Trusted individuals who are aware of the hidden passages are myself, Sandy, and a few of the long-term employees who have been with the Krusty Krab for years. The individuals have sworn to secrecy and have always been trustworthy when it comes to matters concerning the Krusty Krab's operations and security. Mr. Krabs, you're saying that only a select few employees, in addition to Sandy, were aware of this secret passage. That's correct, me boy. The fewer people who knew about it, the better. Didn't want the existence of the passage to be common knowledge or to avoid any potential misuse or compromising the restaurant security. Ah, she's... What are the blue places? Oh, I'm sorry. I just seemed that you were deep in thought. I was, you thunderhead! What did you want anyway? It just seems that something that Mr. Krabs said caught your attention. Oh, it certainly did. I absolutely despise how abstract his answer was. Like, Eugene, my dearest Krabs, can you at least name drop the people who can be most likely related to the case? Alright, if you'll put it into your nagging, Plankton. The individuals who were aware of this hidden passage, in addition to Sandy and myself, are Squidward Tentacles and Pearl Krabs. They have been with the Krusty Krab for quite some time and have proven to be trustworthy in matters concerning the restaurant security. Ah, finally some names. Squidward and Pearl, huh? Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Squidward! Care to explain why you hid this evidence from us? I was aware of the hidden passage in the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs had informed... I can't keep doing the voices. I'm sorry. Like, I am genuinely, like, shot. I cannot continue with the voices. Yeah, exactly. You didn't say nothing. Mr. Krabs had informed me about it many years ago, but I only remembered of its existence when it was brought up. I had completely forgotten of its existence because I had never used it. Regardless, I apologize for withholding this information. It was a gross oversight on my part. I would also like to ask Mr. Krabs, what's your daughter Pearl Krabs on the day of the murder? Pearl? Well, she was actually away on a school trip that day. She had gone on a field trip with her classmates to the Bikini Bottom Museum of Art. So she wasn't present at the Krusty Krab during the time of the murder. Thank you for clarifying, Mr. Krabs. It's important to establish the whereabouts of all potential individuals involved in the case. Mr. Krabs is the main suspect. Bro, Los Angeles? Having a pack of, like... I have no clue. This is the first time I ever hear of that. Nicola? I have never heard of that, I'm sorry. But... If it would help, I honestly might consider getting some. Mr. Krabs is the main suspect as he knew of the secret passage and has evidence on him. Squidward has an iron alibi. Plankton seems to be coincidentally involved in the situation. Sandy seems to be only part of this due to the investigation. Oh, cough drop. Oh, you're so right. Actually, I should... Maybe I have a cough drop. I should go check that. We're gonna take a little break. At most, I'm streaming like another 30 minutes, by the way. I will be right back, so please hold for a moment. I'm changing the music because I think it's more fitting. Anyway, just give me a second. I have a cough drop moment. I think it is helping. So it's generally really good idea. And they're tasty. I want them in my mouth right now. I feel a lot better. I genuinely feel so much better right now. I still have it in my mouth. We only have like 2. But yeah, this thing is tasty, honestly. I didn't think a cough drop would work, but like genuinely really helped. Thank you. Okay. Next up, I will say I'll probably end stream at 10, even if I don't hit a save point. I am willing to just mash heck. It's gonna take a while actually. I just really want them to give me a save point. Like so badly, please. Yeah, I am hoping that I can find a save point. I'm a huge fan of the cherry flavor one. There's one, I don't know exactly what flavor it is, but oh, so I need to switch to Tinkle. While I do this, I'll talk. I don't know exactly what it is, but like the packaging just had just had a forest in it, and now I'm just convinced that it's just forest flavored, you know. That it tastes like forest, and I agree with that. And there are save states or quick saves. It is insane that there's no pause menu on this. That you just can't pause. I tried like every button that would make sense. No pause button, no nothing. I can't save. Plankton, as you seem to intimately know the victim, do you perhaps have any insight into knowing if the victim could have known of this passage? Well, SpongeBob, I can't say for certain whether Shell knew about the hidden passage or not. However, it's not entirely impossible for Shell to have stumbled upon the secret entrance, especially if he had been exploring or snooping around the Krusty Krab. Thank you for your input, Plankton. It's an important angle to consider. If Shell has somehow discovered this hidden passage, it could have influenced the events leading up to his demise. We'll need to explore further to uncover any potential connections between Shell and the secret entrance. SpongeBob, instead of trying to pin everything on the passage, let's redirect our attention for now. How about we focus on the ladder and why it had cyanide-laid sauce in it? That's true. You're right, Squidward. The ladder and the presence of cyanide-laced sauce on it are significant pieces of evidence that shouldn't be overlooked. This I recall its house brand. It's a cherry flavor as well as black cherry flavor. Cherry's a genuinely really good flavor. I have these like not vitamin gummies, but like basically vitamin gummies that I've taken their cherry flavor and they're delicious. I won't be surprised if the guy isn't actually dead. Cereza. Qué rico. Estaría tan rico. Yeah, I kind of want to look into like cherry cough drops now. Generally, this was an incredible idea. Thank you guys. Thank you all. Genuinely, this has made the streaming a lot easier going forward. So thank you. Like from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And the ladder in the present. Oh yeah, we already. We need to determine how the ladder was procured and why it had cyanide in it. We should investigate the ladder further, analyze the sauce, and ask the ladder questions. And see if you can find any fingerprints or other traces that could lead us to the culprit. a hat somewhere. You know what? I got you. There we go. Let's pat its fucking big ass nose. Hi. Sandy, is something bothering you? You've been acting tense, nervous since we began discussing about the roof. Sandy, why are you worried? You're in a pressure suit, you wouldn't leave fingerprints? That's very true. If there's something on your mind, please don't hesitate to share it with us. Oh. Oh! I get it. So you had a hand in that sauce, didn't you? Well, well, well. Seems I've stumbled upon a very interesting idea. Sandy, you have a hand in that cyanide-laced sauce. Did you use it as a means to eliminate Shell Johnson? Plankton, what are you insinuating? I would never do something like that. I will never harm anyone. They all say that. Oh, but Sandy, you've been involved in this case from the very beginning. You tampered with the roof door lock. You were on the roof, and now you have tensed up with the discussion of the ladder. It all adds up, doesn't it? You had the opportunity to commit the crime. Plankton, you're twisting the facts. I may have made mistakes, but that doesn't make me a murderer. I've been cooperating with the investigation, trying to find the truth, just like everyone else. No, after this fact dawned on me, I'm having none of this. Defense, I'd like for you to answer a question. Where do you find cyanide in Bikini Bottom? A poison banned to the point that the only institution in Bikini Bottom that has access to it is the country's toxicology unit. How the fuck is that not brought up until now? Wait a minute. You're right, Plankton. Cyanide is a highly regulated and controlled substance in Bikini Bottom. It's unlikely that a random person in Bikini Bottom would have access to it unless they were a toxicologist or had connections to one. The fact that the latter had cyanide-laced sauce on it raises even more questions. Exactly. It's clear that this wasn't just a random act. Everyone forgets about fruits. Where does cyanide come from, actually? That's something I don't know. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just checking something. Alright. I'm good. It's found in trace amounts like almonds and peach seeds and apple seed. Ah. Oh, so apple... Okay, so that's why, like... Okay. Because I remember Fruit Ninja telling me to not eat apple seeds because they are poisonous, so I guess they have cyanide inside of them. Peach seeds, yeah, those are evil. I can understand that. And almonds, so I guess that's why they would kind of smell like almonds. Crazy. Someone intentionally used cyanide and, in the process, contaminated the ladder. And it makes sense. Like, if it comes from fruits, like, where the hell are you getting fruits in Bikini Bottom, apart from SpongeBob's pineapple? And the only person in Bikini Bottom with access to cyanide is a toxicologist, and that narrows down the list of suspects considerably. Hold on a minute. Just because I'm a toxicologist and have knowledge of toxic substances doesn't mean I'm responsible for this. I would never use cyanide to hire anyone. Andy, everything. I feel my voice even feels clearer than it was at the start. Like, holy crap. Sandy, everything you have done in this trial raises more and more suspicion. You claim to have traveled through the secret passage, you tamper with the roof door lock, and now a valid point has been raised of you owning cyanide due to your career. Avocado seeds? Avocados have seeds? I mean, there's a little ball inside of them. That's not a seed. That's a fun time. That's a fun time right there. A wooden ball. Boy. Giant pits? Yeah, the wooden ball that comes with your Happy Meal. Damn millennials and their avocado toast. I don't blame them. It's actually pretty good. Not like my favorite thing, but passable. Edward, I understand why you might be suspicious given the circumstances, but I assure you I am not responsible for the murder of Shell Johnson. Yes, I have knowledge of toxic substances due to my scientific background, but that doesn't mean I would use them for harm. I tampered with the lock in the roof in an attempt to investigate the case further, not commit a crime. Place it in water to get more avocado? I've heard of that. Can you actually eat, like, the little bit that's inside of it? Because if so, that's cool. Yet, the fact that you have access to the secret passage, your incident of tampering with the lock, and the connection to cyanide, it's hard to ignore these events. Sandy, please, explain the occurrences. Squidward, yes, I had access to the secret passage, and I tampered with the roof door lock. But I did it in an attempt to gather more information about the case and find evidence that could lead us to the truth. As for the cyanide, I want to clarify that I have knowledge. My god, they're just repeating themselves. That doesn't mean I have direct possession or can use any of them. That's all well and good, Sandy, but it's all hard to ignore the connections between your actions and the evidence. We require a concise explanation of your actions. I understand why you may seem suspicious, but I am innocent, Squidward. How many times must I repeat myself until I get it through your thick skull? Perhaps I should speak with different words and stuff to lower myself to the intelligence quotient of lukewarm water? Everything, it just went. I don't want to believe it, but with all the evidence stacked like this, it seems that the only person with the capabilities of murder was Sandy. The only question with her is if she entered the restaurant itself or dropped the murder weapon from the roof. I don't want to believe it, but we have to consider all possibilities. If the evidence points to Sandy, we have to face the reality and cover the truth, no matter how difficult it may be. I can't believe I'm saying this. SpongeBob is right. We must prioritize the truth above all else. And the current predicament clearly points to the most highly suspicious individual being this witness. The pit is the seed. Wooden ball. You throw it around, it goes boing boing. Like a very weak boing boing, but you play around with the ball and then you get rid of it when it starts to smell bad. Now's the prime time to throw out the accusation towards Sandy. It'd be great for the prospect of a conflicting verdict. It's a multi-purpose tool. It's a fucking Mickey Mouse mask tool. I had a student in the school that I work at. He's been drawing like a lot of Mickey Mouse stuff recently, and he said that he wanted to draw the Mickey Mouse mask tool, which I assume is like the little flying robot. And that's in my mind because literally today I heard about it. Wait, student? Yeah, I'm a teacher. This would be great from the prospect of a conflicted verdict, even if it means having to sacrifice her reputation. I'm sorry, Sandy, but there's no other way. Sandy Cheeks, I accuse you of the murder of Sheldon Shell Johnson. That police toxicologist? Murdering a man? What a blasphemy! Surely a woman of her rank wouldn't resort to such tactics. I told them, sir, they'll hurt our communities.
Banish the squirrel.
I think this misspelled Spanish.
Banish the squirrel. Banish the squirrel. Banish the squirrel. Racism.
Let's prioritize the truth above all else. Squidward, I will get the president to hire you for a private clarinet recital. I'm afraid Sandy's right, SpongeBob. Did I miss that line? Or during the court? I shall not have such blatant hate in my courtroom, yeah. SpongeBob SquarePants, you have made a serious accusation, especially to a member of the BBP. Do you have any substantial evidence to support your claim? Your Honor, while the evidence may not be conclusive, there are several factors that raise suspicion. Sandy had knowledge of the secret passage, tampered with the roof door lock, and her profession as a toxicologist gives her access to cyanide, a substance found in the ladder and in the Krabby Patty used to kill the victim. There's pieces of evidence along with her behavior throughout the trial led me to believe that she may be. Also, I can't think of Mickey Mouse without like MacGyvering or redneck engineering. Huh? Automated LLL. Don't worry. It caught redneck. It doesn't like redneck. Responsible for the murder of Sheldon Shell Johnson. SpongeBob, how can you even say that? After all we've been through, how can you accuse me like this? Never harm anyone. This is absurd. It's actually Patrick. Yeah, all this, and it's just like, oh, actually, I killed him. I took a little bit of SpongeBob's house, and my parents dropped by and pooped, and the smell was so bad that it made the pineapple toxic and killed him. Much as it pains me to say it, the prosecution is on the side of the defense. Their emotions do not sway the clear evidence that casts a shadow on your motives in this case. Fine. That's how you're gonna play? Let's play dirty. Please explain to me why I would leave the sauce residue in the ladder if I used the passage to get to the roof. Why would I ever even touch the ladder? Sandy, I admit that it is a valid question. Even though I don't have an answer, the fact that the cyanide is stained there is suspicious and implicates you. Fine. Do you have any proof that I ever went to the victim to give him the poison patty? Is it not curious that nobody saw me? Mr. Krabs, see me going through your office with the patty? What about me falling from the roof, Squidward and SpongeBob? No? What a surprise! But this only raises the problem of having nobody as the culprit. Ha! Fool. There's one person that could have done it, and it's...
SpongeBob. It's you!
Damn, girl, what the fangs do? What? Patrick? What are you saying? Why would you accuse me?
I've been watching this whole trial, SpongeBob, and something's just clicked in my head. You're the one who had access to the poisoned patty. You're the one who could have slipped it to Shelmo Show Johnson.
Patrick, this is preposterous.
I thought I knew you, SpongeBob, but the evidence is starting to add up. When Shelmo Show Johnson collapsed, you were the first one by his side.
But Patrick, I was trying to help him. I wanted to see what's wrong with him from having collapsed like that.
Or maybe it's the way you're dressed. You wanted to make sure he didn't reveal your dark secret. You had a motive, SpongeBob. You were jealous of Sheldon's success and wanted to eliminate the competition. It all makes sense now.
This isn't the time for nonsense like this. Squidward can even attest to my alibi. Yes, SpongeBob is right. I can vouch for him. He was with me at the register the entire time. There was no way he could have slipped it away to poison the patty, or had any opportunity to harm Sheldon Show Johnson.
But there is a key thing you left out, SpongeBob. And you left the back entrance open.
There it is. Something I hope to stay secret. The door itself, the variable that seemed so innocent at the time. That day I was just bringing out the trash when I saw Sandy near the Krusty Krab. At the time I thought nothing of it, but now thinking about it, due to the core context, she must have been near the secret entrance. Must have foiled her plan by noticing her being there. Sandy? What are you doing there? But what? SpongeBob? Sandy? Is everything okay? You look really tense. Oh, it's just that I... Dark secrets in this game for real. Never mind that, SpongeBob. Can I ask you a favor? Sure, what do you have in mind? It's a surprise. Ooh. Murder on the Orient Express? Murder on the Owl Express! Can I know? Can I know? No, it's a surprise, but not for today. It's for another time, but I need to prepare now. Can you promise me that you won't talk about this to anyone? If that's the case, then yes, I can. So, what do you need me to do? Can you leave the back door unlocked for today? Is that for the... Yes, the surprise. Can you promise me that you won't lock it? Sandy, I can't do that. SpongeBob, you want to see the surprise or not? I do. Then leave that door unlocked. You want to make Mr. Krabs happy, don't you? Well, yeah. Last time SpongeBob held conclusive and important evidence. Yep. And do as I say. And don't let anyone know about this. Now that very action is coming back to bite me in the butt. I need to deny the existence of SpongeBob. I risked implicating myself. Patrick, I didn't leave the back entrance open. I was near the kitchen entrance the whole time, and Squidward can affirm that. We're just fucking lying now? How did Patrick know it was unlocked? He'll probably try to, like, come in to, like, talk with SpongeBob or something. Besides, even if the back entrance was open, it doesn't prove my guilt or anyone else's. Patrick, while your input is valuable, we must base our judgments on facts and evidence. The weak point on the writing here, like, hidden secrets people just knew the whole time is, Yeah, I feel like Ace Attorney, sure, like there's stuff you don't find out until like later days, but like this, like, you know, on there it's like, okay, you're learning the evidence and you can make your own conclusions throughout there and maybe come up with a good explanation. I like from day one I was like, oh wait, you know, fucking the guy died on this spot, okay, and that and ended up being correct. This is like a lot of withheld information that's just like, surprise. A little much like reckoning the story as you go. In Layton, you can reach your own conclusions knowing something isn't quite right. Exactly. Like, I'm not knocking the game exactly, but like, I feel it would be a lot better if they didn't have just like, oh, by the way, this happened, and I didn't know about it. Especially because I'm meant to be playing as SpongeBob. I should know that. I should know what he knows. If you have any substantial evidence for this claim, please present it to the court. Otherwise, let the legal proceedings proceed without further interruptions. Oh, sorry. I just thought I had something important to say. Hold on. SpongeBob, earlier in your shift, you were definitely working in the kitchen. I believe then you could have unlocked the back entrance and given access to the actual culprit of this case. The true culprit? Implicating yourself as the true culprit? Or are you going somewhere else with this? Candy, I understand your suspicion, but I assure you that I did not unlock the back entrance or give access to anyone. I was working in the kitchen early in my shift, but that doesn't mean I had the opportunity to leave the door open. Back entrance is usually... I hate this. I hate that we're just lying now. Like, I don't know, that feels very against, like, the spirit of like, Ace Attorney. I'm just fucking making shit up. But yeah. I always followed the rules and trusted the security measures put in place by Mr. Krabs. That's right, SpongeBob is a model employee. He wouldn't do anything to jeopardize the Krusty Krab's safety. He's loyal and trustworthy. Yeah, it feels very, very out of character. Looking through actual testimony, SpongeBob was at his station throughout his shift. I didn't see him leave the kitchen or tamper with any entrances. Taking into account everything that was said, Miss Cheeks, while your suspicion is understandable, we have... But why did I see you unlock the back entrance then, SpongeBob? Patrick, I understand that you believe you saw me unlock the back entrance, but I can assure you that it must have been a misunderstanding. I never unlocked the back entrance. I had no reason to do so. Perhaps there was someone who resembled me, or it was a trick of the light. But I can honestly say that I did not unlock the back entrance or give access to anyone that day. I've always been dedicated to my job and following the rules set by Mr. Krabs. I trust SpongeBob with the security of the Krusty Krab. I have no reason to doubt his integrity. He says he didn't unlock the back entrance, and it must be so. Mr. Starr, eyewitness testimonies can sometimes be misleading or mistaken. Maybe he's telling the truth, maybe there's SpongeBob. Well, we just saw that he's not. Oh my god, it was SpongeBob lookalike with black hair from the Weenie Hot Jr. episode. It's his, like, cousin that just, like, beats him up all the time. Mr. Krabs, is the lock on that back entrance door new by any chance? Hi, Sandy. Yeah, be correct. A lock on... a lock on the back entrance door was replaced recently. We had some issues with it, so I changed it for a brand new one. Only a few trusted employees, including SpongeBob, had the key to that door. I can confirm that I have the key to the new lock, but as I mentioned earlier, I did not unlock it on the day of the murder. The back entrance remained secure, and I followed my usual duties in the kitchen. Andy, you asked me to open that door for you that day. Why are you trying to incriminate me now? Since both the key and lock are brand new, how about we do a little forensic test to see if the key had been used? That seems like a reasonable suggestion, Sandy. Defense, do you agree to a forensic test to determine if the key has been used recently? I decline. I see no reason to check the key. Defense, it's within your rights to decline the forensic test. However, it's important to know that cooperating with this investigation and providing all relevant information is essential to the procedures. Are you certain about your decision? Yes, Your Honor. I trust in the evidence presented so far, and I don't believe that the forensic test on the key will yield any meaningful results. Very well, SpongeBob. Your decision. I believe this court should demand the investigation of that key. I find it highly suspicious that the defense simply refused the test. On the call of the prosecution, I shall ask the bailiffs to conduct the test on that key. Listen, good. I agree, Your Honor. My heart racing. Well, the answer to that test. Yes, it was used. Squidward, you have to push for a forensic test of my key. Where's your endgame?
Your Honor, I've got the report ready.
Don't stand around there and read it out loud.
Your Honor, the forensic test revealed that the key indeed has seen recent use.
Order! Order in the court! This is a significant development, SpongeBob. This information directly contradicts your previous statement. Do you have an explanation for this? Oh, Your Honor. I must have forgotten that I used the key. 3 wild twists ago. I agree. There really should have been. I need a checkpoint so badly. Where's the checkpoint? I don't know. The most reasonable place would have been like right after the court recess. But like I have not had one in literally like an hour and a half at this point. It's a busy day at the Krusty Krab. I must have forgotten. Well, SpongeBob, is that your argument? That your memory's bad? What a joke. This whole entire trial, you had been continuously accusing everyone you could. But it would seem that the burden of the murder falls on your shoulders. Andy, you're the one who asked me opened the door for you. It was you that made me stay out of the kitchen for a little surprise. And why are you trying to blame it on me? Your Honor, I have something to say. Jesus, dude, relax. Sandy, you claimed that I unlocked the back entrance door, but I distinctly remember you asking me to do so. You told me you had a surprise and needed access to the kitchen. You were the one who entered the kitchen that day. Just said it the day before and not... Yeah, like... Oh, Mr. Krabs used it when he fucking put the new lock in, too. Like... Right? One of the penis kids... That's an achievement right there. Miss Cheeks, do you have an explanation for these? I don't know what you're talking about, SpongeBob. You must be mistaken. I'm not mistaken, Sandy. I remember it clearly. You asked me to... You have no fucking credibility anymore. SpongeBob, you fuck your credibility by withholding that. You asked me to unlock the door and said you had something to do in the kitchen. I trusted you all this time. I wanted to believe all of these were just coincidental exceptions. But you were using me, weren't you? Yeah, no, it's like straight up. You had planned this from the start. SpongeBob, I swear I didn't. But never. Save it, Sandy. The evidence is stacking up against you and your behavior throughout this trial is suspicious. From tampering with the lock to accessing the passage, it all points to your involvement. And now, with the revelation that you asked me to unlock the back entrance, it's clear that you had a plan. For land development. SpongeBob, please. You have to believe me. I didn't plan any of this. Never harm anyone. It's not right here. SpongeBob. Well, I agree that this woman is suspicious. Without doubt, there's still the inconsistency of the burger. Mr. Krabs never saw her pass by his office. Even if she had used the passage to climb the roof, there's no feasible way the Krabby Patty would fall to the victim intact. You're right, Squidward. The missing piece of the puzzle is how the Krabby Patty made its way from the roof to the victim. Had he used a ladder or secret entrance to access the roof, it's unlikely that the burger would have landed perfectly intact on Sheldon's plate. SpongeBob, I swear I didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know anything about the Krabby Patty.
Oh, I remember now. Sandy definitely went up that ladder with Plankton, but I don't recall there ever being a Krabby Patty with either of them.
Patrick, are you sure about what you're saying? Did you really see Sandy and Plankton go up the ladder together?
Oh yeah, SpongeBob. I remember it clearly now. I was just taking a stroll outside the Krusty Krab, and I saw them sneaking up the ladder. But I didn't see any Krabby Patty with them.
Patrick, are you certain about this? Are you sure you saw us together on that ladder?
Positive, Sandy. It's all coming back to me now. You and Plankton were definitely up there. But the burger, it wasn't with you.
I thought this revealed, Plankton. Is this how you got to the roof by using the ladder where your footprints were found on the roof? Oh, SpongeBob, you're finally catching on, aren't you? Yes, I admit it. I used the ladder to access the roof, and those footprints on the roof were indeed mine. But that doesn't make me the killer. Your connection to the victim, and the footprints matching your size, Patrick's testimony, it all makes you suspicious of the witness standing next to you. It is becoming increasingly difficult to believe your innocence. Innocence? Who said anything about innocence? I'm simply stating the fact that I am not guilty. Explain your presence at the roof, witness. Why were you there with Miss Cheeks, no less? I was up on the roof because I was conducting my own little investigation, trying to gather some information to further my goals. As for being with her, well, that's a different story altogether. Difficult to believe anyone except Squidward wasn't complicit. Like, genuinely. The only thing that Squidward has done that's incorrect here is he forgot that there was the secret passageway. Because he's worked there for a long time, he's never used it. That's believable. And then we have all of these motherfuckers who, like, even SpongeBob is holding back stuff. Doesn't mean I had... Let's just say our path crossed, but it doesn't mean that I had anything to do with the murder. Yeah, I'm finally beginning to see the full picture. That day, Mr. Sheldon Shell Johnson came to the restaurant and had a huge argument with Mr. Krabs. The same day that Sandy asked me to open the back entrance to gain access to the ladder, which then got side-eyed residue on it. And at the same time, Plankton was following Sandy to the roof, most likely not knowing what the back entrance was unlocked. He didn't want to go by the entrance due to the customer influx and camera system, most likely descended from the roof entrance to the dining area. The more I think about it, the more it feels like everyone's here are simply puppets used by the true mastermind. Unless that Patrick and Squidward are somehow involved. Patrick is a passerby, Squidward doesn't know enough beyond just wanting to get out of having work. Yeah, exactly. Even Patrick, like, it's kind of like, oh, by the way, he just started talking all of a sudden, like, oh, yeah, by the way, I forgot. I totally saw these two together after everybody had already mentioned that they could have been together. Could it be there's someone pulling the strings orchestrating this entire situation? Someone who set up the argument of the conflicting testimonies and the way the events of this incident played out? Mastermind Larry the Lobster, that big muscle head, orchestrated it all? By Neptune, are you saying there's a mastermind behind this? Surely, must have had a motive for setting up this murder and diverting suspicion onto others like this. What benefit from this chaos would the culprit gain? That I don't know. He's here in the audience then. It's that fucking guy. The racist one. Plankton, I think the final piece of the puzzle lies with you. Please, be honest with me. Did you follow Sandy to the roof to get access to the roof entrance to then get into the Krusty Krab? I have to admit, I did follow Sandy that day. I saw her heading towards the roof, and I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to get inside the Krusty Krab unnoticed. I had no idea about the secret passage or the existence of the rooftop door at that time. So, did you enter the Krusty Krab to the roof entrance? After Sandy tampered with the lock and broke it, she opened the door. But she didn't look. I jumped in as I saw the victim and Krabs arguing together. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary during your time inside the restaurant? Not really. I found what Sandy did to be strange. I didn't understand what she was doing on the roof. I see. So you descended at exactly the time when Mr. Krabs and the victim were having an argument. This corroborates the tape that you presented to the court. It was a coincidence that at the same time that I was falling, Krabs and Shell Johnson were having an argument. This is indeed the time that I chose to record the exchange and flee into Krabs' office. I don't know where I'm going with this. But if Plankton went into Mr. Krabs' office, then it would only mean he would go after the formula of the kitchen. If Krabs didn't have the formula, it only leaves one option that would explain how the victim received the Krabby Patty. Plankton, I used that moment to sneak into Mr. Krabs' office. Did you go into the kitchen? Did you go into the kitchen, took the regular Krabby Patty, and gave it to the victim? That is exactly what I did. On that day, Shell Johnson threatened me. He had said that if I did not procure Krabby Patty that day in the restaurant, that he would destroy my computer wife Carrie with a trash compactor. You have to understand. I wanted to see Karen. I risked my life seeing if I could make it safely from the roof to the ground floor. All this pain was for a single burger. I see, so the victim got this Krabby Patty from you. But I didn't poison it, I swear. I just did what I was told, that's it. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't doubt you, Plankton. But then raises a new question. Who poisoned the Krabby Patty with cyanide? Yeah, honestly, that's what I'm thinking right now. It could have been that he killed himself. The burden of this whole trial seems to continuously slide onto your shoulders. Here to explain yourself? I... On that day... Okay, I climbed to the roof to drop off a pouch of cyanide sauce to the victim. It wasn't something that I chose to do myself. It is something that the victim asked me to do. Or a more accurate way, I should say. He forced me to do it. Hold on, Sandy. What do you mean he forced you to drop that cyanide off to him? It's hard for me to admit this, but the truth is Sheldon Shell Johnson had something on me as well. He had discovered a secret about my past, something I never wanted anyone to know. He threatened to expose it if I didn't do as he said. I had no choice but to comply with his demands, which included delivering the cyanide-laced sauce to him. Sandy, what kind of secret would be so devastating that it would drive you to commit such acts? It's personal, SpongeBob. Never wanted anyone to know, but I suppose it's time to come clean. Before I came to Bikini Bottom, I was involved in such shady activities back in Texas. Associated with a group that was involved in illegal activities, I had to do things I'm not proud of. I thought I left that life behind when I came here, but Sheldon somehow found out about it. I know that giving him the cyanide was wrong. I was scared and didn't know what to do. But I could handle it on my own, just to do as he said and he'll leave me alone. Well, it seems that we have reached a crucial turning point in the trial. The question behind the poison in Burger have been revealed. We now know that Sandy had a direct involvement with the poison that killed the victim. I think that this whole messed up puzzle is finally ready to be put together. All the events that led up to this tragedy being unearthed. With this final piece of testimony, we can finally piece the true culprit of this case. And please, SpongeBob, tell us who the true culprit is of whom you speak of. All of this has led up to this single moment. Go over this case again to make sure it really was who I think it was. Fucking finally! Right at the end, or it doesn't even matter. Pissed. I'm pissed about it. I'm pissed. We're just finishing this. I don't care. After everything that was discovered during this trial, it's important to put the key facts to the forefront of this case. Only this way can I find the truth, by putting everything in order. Let's start off with the most pressing issue first. What is Mr. Kraft's role in this crime? It was unrelated. Mr. Krabs was unrelated to the crime. Exactly. Mr. Krabs, through his whole trial, never played a vital role in the crime. He only had an argument with the victim. From then, he chose to stay in his office, not reappearing in the dining hall until after the murder. He was in all ways imaginable framed for this murder. Now onto the witness in this trial. If Mr. Krabs is ruled out as the culprit, one should then assume that the true perpetrator is amongst those two witnesses. Let's go off of Plankton first. What was Plankton's role in this incident? He delivered the Krabby Patty. I like this a lot. I like that I'm actually having to recall everything that we've learned to be able and like put it together in the game. Exactly. Of this case, we didn't know how the victim received his final meal. And since Mr. Krabs had nothing to do with it, only leaves Plankton as the sole one to do it. There's a fly in the Krabby Patty, just like the health inspector. Yeah, it was just a really bad Krabby Patty. He used the argument to sneak into Mr. Krabs' office, where he then entered the kitchen. He then procured the Krabby Patty and left through the service window. That's how the victim received his meal. But if it wasn't Plankton who killed the victim, we need to consider the actions of Sandy. What was Sandy's role in this incident? He delivered the poison, not murder, though. Exactly. The main murder weapon, the Hawaiian sauce, was an ingredient foreign to the Krusty Krab, but it must have been brought by someone foreign instead of an employee. And knowing that Sandy is a toxicologist, he would have had a way to get cyanide and then mix it with the sauce. Her confession of using the ladder and tampering with the roof door lock shows that she couldn't kill the victim. She only dropped him the last ingredient. But there's still the fact that is sitting on my mind. The secret passage is an integral part of this case, yet one should ask, the secret passage get used in this crime? No. Exactly. I firmly believe that Sandy's
Sandy at first tried to use the secret passage to get to the roof, yet after I witnessed her being near the entrance, she must have created the surprise story to keep me quiet. It's then that she changed course and had to use the ladder. And all these facts led to one final question. Who truly killed Sheldon Shell Johnson? The victim. Sheldon Shell Johnson took his own life. It could only have been him. If you connect every piece that was given in this trial, then you would come up with only one logical conclusion. Oh, SpongeBob. Have any bright guesses as to who the culprit is, or had the catfish got your tongue? The only person who could have killed the victim was none other than Sheldon Shell Johnson himself. Yeah, just straight up. Like, everybody messed up a little bit through all of this. Why? Are you suggesting that the victim committed suicide? It's a possibility we should ignore. Think of the victim's actions. He had been involved in a heated argument with crabs. He threatened Plankton to steal Krabby Patty and forced Sandy to deliver the cyanide-laced sauce. What if he was overwhelmed by guilt or the fear of being exposed and decided to end his own life by consuming the poisoned Krabby Patty there? It would explain why he had me deliver the sauce and why there's no evidence of anyone else tampering with the patty. He would make it so that no single party would be truly guilty of the crime. It's plausible theory, and it aligns with all that we've discussed in the trial so far. This is an unexpected turn of events. Your Honor, this is mere speculation. We cannot simply dismiss the possibility of a murder and label it as suicide without concrete evidence. This is the only logical course of action, Your Honor. None of these people alive in this courtroom had any intent to kill the victim. The victim procuring Krabby Patty and lethal poison would suggest that the victim would have to have committed suicide. Idiot! Even using your brain, do you not see the blatant contradiction in your logic? Why would he commit suicide? And clearly had connections to the underbelly of society and had enough influence to force two normal citizens to participate in conspiracy to murder. Perhaps he felt bad? Oh, please, as if a heartless monster like him could feel sorry for himself to the point he would end his own life in the comfort of the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob, I request an actual explanation of the reason he would take his life. True that Sheldon Shell Johnson's actions would suggest a man with power and influence, not someone who would resort to taking his own life. There must be a more compelling reason for that choice, something we haven't uncovered yet. Please don't tell me there's like another hour of this. Need to dig deeper into Sheldon's background and personal life. There might be underlying motives. I am like half considering just leaving this for another stream. I was meant to go play with my girlfriend. I was meant to go play Marvel Rivals with my girlfriend like 20 minutes ago, and I feel bad. And at this point, I feel like this is gonna get dragged out. I feel we can redo the last bit of it, and if this really just ends like very shortly, we can just play regular Ace Attorney afterwards. I'm sorry, y'all, but as much as I wanted to like just the save isn't far from here anymore. Thank goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Thank you all so much for coming by tonight. I'm sorry to end it so abruptly, and farewell, SpongeBob. You took too long. I really feel like we're at the end, but also I feel like this end could be like another 20 minutes minimum. And I'm sorry, I throw in the towel. We're gonna do this on, I'm thinking maybe Wednesday, because tomorrow I'm doing Voices of the Void, and Wednesday I was thinking to do Ace Attorney, just regular, hoping that we would maybe finish this or just continue this if we needed to. But thank you all for coming by tonight. I do really appreciate you coming by. If you haven't followed me already, you could, but even if you don't, I appreciate you coming by and spending time with us. Again, we'll finish this probably on Wednesday, if not Thursday, if I, for whatever reason, can't stream Wednesday. And you all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. I'm hiding in the hat.